Where did you get spoon, Papa?
It's here.
I don't want to contaminate.
Oh.
Well, you put the spray away. What's up, E? Yes, I sprayed something. We are eating lunch. Had to take care of some business. Shot a YouTube video. So now we're out to eat lunch. So it's rare that we ever do live streams at this time, but we've been doing a couple the past week or so, a lot. And we donate my cucumbers to Fluffy the cucumber. We donate, that's like a coleslaw almost. That's what it looks like. It looks like a coleslaw. Where's the salad? The salad's right here, but I'm donating it. What's up, Kodiak?
Hey, Kodiak.
Kodiak changed his avatar since last night. It didn't get 650. First of all, it didn't get 650 until this morning. So when I ended it, I think I only had about 400 and something. But when I do this mode, most of the time I get 1,000. So I got about 450 when I ended the stream last night, and then people watched the replay. So, but it's still like 60% less. Plus, nobody discovers me on YouTube Shorts if I'm in the other mode. I should be, because actually, I'm going to be eating this too. So here's a spring roll. Pork spring roll. The peppers, oh, you missed it, man. The peppers, I just put a bunch of peppers in there. Yeah, usually it's about 750. On a good one, we'll do about 1,000. Especially if I do like a 4 or 5 hour. Yesterday we did a long one, and it's less than half. Plus nobody sees me on YouTube Shorts, so for just doing it in that mode, it's just not really worth it, analytics wise. This is a early lunch for us. Yeah, this is kind of like a regular lunchtime. We're back at the same place. We're on the other side of the bridge, though. Deep fried Oreos. We don't have those. We got deep fried spring rolls.
Really not a fan of Oreos.
I'd probably eat a deep fried Oreo. But you guys are in for a treat. If you guys stick around, you're going to see me pay for the first time ever with QR code. No, not apartment, honey. I had to go take care of some other business today. The apartment stuff was taken care of yesterday, but today I'm gonna probably contact my landlord tonight. So we'll figure out more about the rental situation probably tonight or tomorrow. Fluffy said, "Don't be dull." She said, "Don't be dull." Fluffy, how about you don't be dull? Don't be dull. This is my go-to. Like if I'm ever at a place and I don't really know stuff, I just get the pork chop, the rice, and the fried egg. I can go for this any or all the time. It's the same that we ate at this place last time. Remember when we went to the Cat Cafe? This is the same place that we ate at then. I don't really, two things. I don't find it cheaper over here, and I find there's less restaurants, at least in the Cat Cafe Apex Park area. Because we just left over by HSBC. You do not have them. You. Fluffy eats fish. Yeah, this is the same restaurant we went to before. Oh, I don't have a drink. I wanted a Trautalk or something. No Trautalk. That's another thing. So in the local neighborhood, like where we go to, where you always see Dale popping up, there's Trautalks all over there. But when you get over to this side of the river, we never see Trautalk. Even on the beach we don't see Trautalk. It seems like it's just in the Chao Ti Vinte kind of mid Anthlong area that we see Trautalks. I did film over by HSBC. Probably, there's rice all over your mouth. Go back. This is a back street, so that's the Apex Park street, way up there. Look, I'll show you guys. So let me try to zoom in. Way up there where that blue car is, that's the Apex Park street that's down this way. So that's the main street, and we came all the way in. See, that's kind of the thing, is like you got to go deep into this park to go find stuff. Anthlong, you just walk outside and you're freaking at Chao Ti Vinte. This is Da Nang, Vietnam. Da Nang, Vietnam. Some people get mad when I say Da Nang, but I swear all the locals that I talk to, they call it Da Nang. They don't call it Da Nang. I always hear Nong, like rhymes with Hong Kong, Kong. They say Nong. But I just got a message on my YouTube video. You've been there for that long and you call it Da Nang? It's Da Nang. The only people that I hear it called Da Nang are the people that are older Westerners that were alive and probably in the Vietnam War. But just the same way, when I go back to the USA, I don't hear people, I hear a lot of older people call it Vietnam. I call it Vietnam, Nam, but a lot of people call it Vietnam. I appreciate it, Kodiak. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend.
What's that?
Nothing, Fluffy. Worry about yourself.
What's that, Kodiak? Let me see.
But that's what I love about the Anthlong area. Like, you could just literally, like, we walk outside of our house, right? We can go down to Pallet. Pallet gets you the Monet for $40,000. Like, we had to walk down streets and streets over here to find just this place. Sinchao, I'm asking. Can I ask you a question? So, I always hear a debate. Is it called Da Nang or Da Nang?
Da Nang.
Oh, you say Da Nang. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. So is that how?
Sometimes it's gonna have a lot of the foreigners people. They will be spell it like they will pronunciation is like a Da Nang. But the Vietnamese people is called Da Nang.
So is it Nang or Nong?
Nang or Nong is the same.
Same.
Yeah, the same. The name, Da Nang is like the foreign, almost the foreigners people call it Da Nang.
Yes, I always call it Da Nang.
Da Nang is
Nong.
right.
Da Nang. So
Yeah, it's right there.
my audience.
99%.
So when I say Da Nang, is that correct?
Da Nang is correct.
That's correct. Okay. So still kind of a little confusing, but
We have to find Timmy.
we have to find Timmy T. That's what I should have asked. It's not about the so all I want to know, I could be saying it wrong, right? But all I'm just trying to confirm is people try to tell me it's Nang, not Nong. I say it the way that rhymes with Hong Kong. So I think it's Da Nong, Nong. But other people will say Nang. And no locals that I know call it Nang. They don't say Nang, they say Nong. Like rhymes with Kong. What's up, Pete? Peteroo?
Pete.
What'd you say? I
Wasn't Pete.
thought Fluffy gave you a nickname. I thought she was calling you Rest in Pete.
No.
Not rest in peace,
no.
but rest in Pete.
He's so funny. Yesterday, was he the one who's saying, "Be careful of the things you say about Boston"? Was that him?
No, he said something like, "Hey, take it easy on Boston."
Yeah, take it easy on Boston.
Philippi. Oh, I did see that. I didn't watch it, but I seen like the little Instagram or something popped up. I didn't watch it, but I seen like a little tiny little clip saying someone got arrested in the Philippines.
Oh, but no, here's the thing. People are saying he's Russian, and then people are saying no, he's American. But he got a mob shot, and like it says nationality is Russian, so he's
Huh.
Russian. But I
That-
heard that his parents migrated in USA.
Did you see the avid camper? Maybe you might be one of Philip's buddies. This is Vietnamese food. This is my go-to: pork chop, rice, fried egg, and the spring rolls.
Spring rolls.
So the guy told me I'm right. Nong, not Nang. This isn't my go-to. I can literally eat this for lunch every single day. A pork chop, rice, and an egg. Can't go wrong with it.
Maybe that's your brother.
My brother?
You message your brother.
Yes, Fluffy. We wanted to go to this dumpling place. I wanted to show you guys this dumpling place, but they don't open up till 4 o'clock. So the problem is they don't open up till 4, and it's only like, I don't even know if it's 3 yet. Is it 3? It's 3:10. So we would still be waiting another hour, and we were hungry. Well, Fluffy was hungry.
We ate dinner early
Mm-hmm.
last night.
I seen that, Kodiak, and it looks like it helped Americans out here in Vietnam, because the Vietnamese dong, we get much more not much more, but we get about another 200 VND to the dollar. So I looked, because I usually check my currency thing every few days or so, and I noticed it, and I was like, wow, our rent went down from like $550 a month to like $542, and I was like, wow, what happened? And then I seen that. Yeah, we were just talking about that, Dark Brother. It helped me. Well, it's gonna help me out this month, because my rent in US dollars is it was $550, and now, I mean, it's not a huge difference, but when I looked up 14 million, watch, I'll show you guys. So I used to pay, at one point, I was paying $551, because that was 14 million. But now, if you guys look what 14 million is, so 14 million now is $542. So I saved about almost $10 this month. So that tariff technically helped me for this month, but I don't think that tariff will be a long-term tariff. In my opinion, they'll negotiate and get something lower. But I think for this month, no matter if I stay at the apartment or not, my rent will be better this month because of the higher dollar to the VND. So that helps me out this month. I don't think it's going to go on long term, but backlash, yeah, probably a tariff backlash, but I don't think much. Like I said, I think basically Trump did that to have Vietnam come back to the table and lower the tariffs on the USA, and then they'll go back and forth and negotiate. I don't think it'll be a long-term thing. Annalyn, art of the deal. The art? What if it's just bone?
I thought it's fat.
Got my peppers. Probably easier too. Art of the deal. I don't want that though, Dark Brother. Dark Brother. You and Mitzi are on the same side, but not me. Mitzi wants a long-term 1-year visa, but I don't, because I know if they do a 1-year visa, Vietnam's prices are going to skyrocket. I bet you Da Nang's prices go up 20% at least. If they gave a 1-year visa, Vietnam's prices would drastically go up. For example, my apartment would, let's say I spend $750 a month. I bet you if there's a 1-year visa, that $750 would probably easily be $900 a month now, just on the news of a 1-year visa. So I do not want the long-term visa. I do not want the 1-year visa. Now I don't want the 1-month visa. That's too short, but the 3-month visa is perfectly fine. I'll trade 4 bus runs a year to save a decent amount of money. But I am not in favor of the long-term visa. Budget guys or people that don't want to spend a lot of money are not in favor of the longer term visa. Now, if Dark Brother and Mitzi want to pay for all the inflation that goes up, then I'll encourage the 1-year visa. She looks irritated. Fluffy, they said, my mail-ordered wife looks irritated. First, we're not married. So, that's already the problem. But
a neutral.
Congratulations on being the first troll of the day. You are now pinned. So now if you think about deleting your message, you will be kicked out. So you have an option to be the troll of the day and have your message pinned. But if you delete your message that you wanted to get attention on, then you will be kicked out. So if you want to stay in, don't delete your message. If you want to get kicked out, delete your message.
No. Oh, no.
The U.S. dominance on the economic strategy called for forceful chain reaction.
I want to be a mail order bride. So I can get
We're always just surprised at how wrong people are in their comments about everything. Like the guy that said he complains about 40,000 coffee, and any of you guys that know me know I don't drink coffee, so the guy couldn't have made up a bigger lie. Oh, he complains about 40,000 coffee. I don't drink coffee, so first of all, thanks for the lie.
Now it's eating the some food.
FedEx. They don't have FedEx out here. They have DHL. They only have DHL. Probably there's still spring rolls.
No. I ate so much.
You did?
Yeah.
Why? Yellow and red. I had a DHL package, an important one, have to get sent out here. And they actually came through. It got sent from USA to Vietnam in about 6 days, so not bad at all.
Yeah, but you had troubles in receiving it because you have to have your number, right?
One of the packages. That was my card, though. The DHL that I'm talking about was my background check, my FBI background check. Yeah, it's not bad. It actually might have been only 5. It was no longer than 6, but I think it was 5 days. This is Vietnam. Da Nang, Vietnam. People said the airport long line is why it won't return. I don't buy that. I just don't want a long-term visa. Long-term visa is gonna make Vietnam almost as expensive as parts of Thailand and parts of the Philippines, except for the major cities. Yeah, they definitely have pizza places. We have one favorite pizza place, a deep dish Chicago style. 2 weeks? Wow. Same for mine. Mine came from California. My Charles Schwab replacement card came from California, and that was the one that took 5 or 6 days. Yes, my new replacement card got sent from California, Charles Schwab, and it came here. I've even heard, someone has told me, and I'm pretty sure it's correct, that you can even open up and get your brand new first Charles Schwab account, as long as you're an American citizen. They will send it to you in Vietnam. You don't even need to be in the USA to get your first actual card. As long as you're an American citizen.
No, but you have to have an address, right?
Yes, but almost all American citizens like me, I use my dad's address. So if I would have came out here without a Charles Schwab account, I could have used my dad's address, sent it there, not sent it there, but used my dad's address, and then they would have sent it to me here. The price, they didn't charge me anything. It was a fraud. So it was a fraud charge on my Charles Schwab account, right? So I called in. I kind of figured that I was going to have to spend the shipping, especially internationally, and they rushed it out. They did a rush delivery and charged me 0, nothing at all. Yeah, I'm actually eating a local pork chop as we speak. Fluffy eats it all the way down to the bone.
Yes. Yummy to the bone.
Yeah, you can do that. So I've been told by a Charles Schwab agent, and I was told by someone that came out here to Da Nang that they were able to do that. So it looks like it works. Okay, right. Not really any plan. Do we have? Oh yeah. I don't really have any plans. We took care of business early. I had to go to the bank, and then we're eating lunch right now. And we're probably gonna get back home about 4 o'clock. We'll go out for dinner later, but no big plans as of right now. I've never heard of EMS, but I do know that my card was sent DHL. They gave me the option between DHL and UPS, I think it was. I think it was UPS, but I chose DHL since I had a good transaction with them, getting my background check the first time. Did you have to learn? No. I've been here for a year and a half, and all I know basically is hello and thank you. I hope Vietnamese goes into a recession when I come back to Vietnam this year.
Patience.
Google Translate.
Patience. Patience.
Google Translate, taking pictures, pointing at things, stuff like that.
Patience and patience.
Patients are at hospitals.
Patience.
I don't know if I want them to go into a recession because that's going to hurt a lot of people here, but it would be nice if somehow the dollar would stretch further without a recession. That would be nice. I mean, anywhere it's always great to get more money. Speaking of money, yeah, I use Google Translate for pretty much anything. I'm gonna have to pause this. I will be back, but let me try to pay because I gotta use my QR code. Xin can I pay?
Yeah, sure.
Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta go pay. So this will loop for a second, but I will be right back.
Bill. Diane.
Will.
Will,
Yep.
are you a big fan of the Sakura King?
Yeah, well, when I lived in USA, I lived about an hour away from Sacramento. I live closer to San Francisco, but I'm a Kings fan, so I lived out there.
My favorite team is just only Golden Gate.
Oh, Golden State. I live about 25 minutes away from there, but I'm a Kings fan rather than a
When I
Warriors
live
fan.
in the United States, I always get a ticket for watching the Golden State Warriors get a match.
What year was that?
Is that
What year?
at the 2017?
Oh, 17. So with the championship years. I'm gonna crash. Appreciate it, E. So,
Always Stephen Curry.
oh yeah.
Steph Curry, yeah.
So guys, I just took care of my first payment. We went ahead. I scanned this QR code, and if you guys just heard that noise in the background, that was my payment. But you just scan the code. He will tell you the price. You will have to review it and put an OTP code in. I'm not sure if you have to do that every time, but then it accepted it and went through instantly. So that is all done and all taken care of. So 112,000 is what we just paid for that. So lunch was about almost $5. It was about $4.80.
We were hungry.
But we got 5 spring rolls, which were like 30,000, which is like $1.20 out of it was our spring rolls.
Drinks.
So that sounds like a dark plan. Okay, perfect. So let me log out of the Wi-Fi. Oh, I am logged out of the Wi-Fi. Where are we gonna go now, Fluffy?
Chapa.
Are we gonna search or are we gonna go back home? I do have to do an ending at a certain point before I leave. I'd like to.
Don't you want to walk the Apex part or?
I guess. What's wrong with good old cash? I can't really let the cat out of the bag right now, but I am gonna probably stick to cash. That was my first time ever using the QR code. I'm probably gonna stick to cash, but that is the first time that I've used it. Come on. Bye bye. See you next time. What are we doing now, Fluffy?
Chapa. Going there.
We're gonna go this way. No, I don't necessarily know what I paid. So, what app did I use?
VNP.
I use VN Pay, I guess it is. So there's like a QR code. You just scan the QR code with any. You can. I think you can scan that with a camera too, can't you? So you can scan. They have a set QR code, and then basically you take a picture of it, and then you have to have money in an account, which I will go into deeper on another future video, and then you make a payment. Well, look at this. Look at this chicken. I hope he's not lunch soon. Look at him. I think this is a sugar cane. I don't see it. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do they have that? Do they have? I don't.
Chata? Chata?
Is that it?
It's 10K.
Are you sure that's it?
Chata.
Okay. This is the kumquat.
Mot chata. Mot nhuk mia. I'll get this.
I will get into that. I'm gonna do an uploaded video on that, so I could definitely answer the question, Taiwan, in a very, very soon video. $5 actually. So to be fair though, that food, if we wouldn't have got the spring rolls, would have been about $3. It would have been about $3, but we did want to get the spring rolls. Here's the sugar cane, so it gets pressed, and then I think the juice comes down into here. So look at this. So it gets pressed, and then the juice comes down into here. So you put the sugar cane there. You do not need a TRC card to get a bank account here, though. I can confirm that part. Look at that, it just crushes it. And then that's the sugar cane. I'm not a big fan of sugar cane. I prefer the Tratok tea better. This is the Tratok. So, Fluffy, what is that technically right there?
Lime.
Is that lime?
Yeah.
It's sweeter than lime, though. Fluffy told me, oh, that's oranges, but it's green.
No, this is oranges.
These are the green oranges. That kind of is so weird that this is an orange, but yet it's green. So it should be called a green, not an orange. So they'll put that in there, and then they'll give me like, this is kind of like, anybody from the USA, the best way to describe this is a very, very citrusy flavored Arizona iced tea. That's exactly the best way I can describe this. So if you guys go get those Arizona iced teas, you know, the big ones that used to be 99 cents, and you load it up with a lot of citrus, that's exactly what it tastes like. I don't know what that was. Was that sugar water? Or was that just regular water? That was sugar water? What is that? No, that's the sugar water. Where's the tea?
I don't know.
I don't think there is no tea.
Chata?
I don't think this is Tratok, is it?
Yes.
Huh?
No, let her. She's making chata.
I don't think this is Tratok. I don't think this is Tratok. And then she's gonna put the ice in it. It's just a fuse.
Huh?
It's just a fuse tea. Definitely a lot different. So I called this a Tratok. I gotta give it a chance, but I'm kind of disappointed in this one because all they did is opened up a bottle of Windmart tea, and they loaded it up with. No, because she would have a big container, and it's not even the same color. So we'll try it out though. But it's definitely not a Tratok that I'm looking for. But we'll see how it tastes. Look at this. Sugarcane and a Tratok. They almost look the same color, so the Tratok that I always get is much, much darker. Let's take a look. Come on. Fluffy, you're spilling. Let me shake this up a little bit. This is definitely not... I've had many, many Tratoks. This is a much lighter color. I don't even think it was that. Like, 80% of it was non-tea. So usually what happens is they'll put the limes in the bottom, and then they'll open up like this big dark tea, fill it up, hit it with some sugar water. This was about 80% non-tea. She put a splash of tea in it, but let me try it. Definitely not a Tratok. Let me try this one. I don't know what that is. What is that, Fluffy?
It's tea.
I think it's filler. I think it's basically sugar water with a splash of tea and lime. All the other ones give me about 80% tea. Let me try the sugar cane. I'm not a big fan of the sugar cane. I've had one that's decent. I've had one. But unfortunately, I'm kind of disappointed in that Tratok. Mm-mm. See, I'm not a sugar cane fan. It has like a floral type of taste to it. One thing that sets Vietnam apart is the likes of India is their obvious sanitary food preps. You wouldn't get the experience. Yeah, I would probably say that. But to be fair, on both sides, we've seen some crazy stuff in Vietnam. You'll walk down the street and you'll see them washing dishes in a tub of cold water. Now, if you're from USA, everyone that I know, this is kind of a weird thing that it took me a long time to get used to. So in USA, when you go wash dishes, right, what kind of water do you guys use? Hot water, right? So we will rent apartments, nice apartments, right? And you turn on the water, and there's no such thing as hot water in the kitchen sink. And I'm like, how do people wash their dishes in cold water? It doesn't seem sanitary to me, but luckily I've never got sick. But in USA, we always use hot water to wash our dishes. Out here, you'll see a bucket like this, and they'll put plates in here, and there'll just be someone sitting on the side of the road washing plates with cold water out in the middle of the street. So I'm not gonna rave and say like Vietnam's like this most amazing clean Tokyo or nothing like that. Yeah, out here, so in our apartment, we don't even have hot water in our kitchen sink. Like, that's crazy. And in the Philippines, it's like the same.
But there are apartments here.
Very few. There is some, but it's not common. It's not common. It's not common to have hot water in your kitchen sink, which is very weird. Another thing that's very common here is to have a light switch that you turn on the hot water. Like in USA, you just turn on the hot water. Like when you turn on the hot water faucet, you have a cold and you have a hot. You turn it on and it instantly comes out. Here, sometimes you have to hit a light switch and then the hot water will go on. Or
like that is like for the voltage.
Or what you have to do is like some showers when we were in Hue, you got to hit a switch to turn the hot water on in the shower. And it's like, come on, like in USA, you just turn the hot water handle on. Yeah, I don't know what this is. This is definitely not a Tra Talk. It has a little bit of an aftertaste. But I am in the USA. I'm in San Francisco, Vietnam.
Now next time, Puffy, if we don't see the Chatak container, remember like how they use the...
Yeah, they usually have it like in a big pitcher.
Yeah. Next time, we won't buy.
But remember, that's why I was kind of feeling a little sketchy. She kept pointing to something else on the menu.
No.
And I was like, no, I don't want that.
Yeah.
She was trying to sell me that. I would prefer Vietnam. I've never been to Bangladesh, never been to India. I've seen videos. I do still want to go to India. I would probably say just based on videos and being here, yeah, probably. But I do still want to go to India, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. This is another thing, though. Sometimes you guys say, oh, you always sugarcoat Vietnam, but sometimes you'll see stuff like that. So it's weird, though, because...
Seeing stuff like that.
No. So sometimes when I do videos about Vietnam, they say, man, you're so brainwashed, man. You're so brainwashed. You're being forced to say good stuff about Vietnam. And I say, no, I just tell you guys my real experience. And on the other hand, when I do show you guys the garbage on the street, then I get the other people that hate and say, you're so negative. Why are you insulting my country? And I go like, hey, I just tell it the way I see it. It's like, when there's good things out here, I talk about them. When there's bad things, I'm not going to sugarcoat things.
Why are you so negative with Philippines?
The weak immune systems Americans have due to lack of exposure. Yeah, but I'm lucky enough. Even in the USA, I never had that issue. So, I don't know. For my whole life, I never really got sick off of food. I think maybe once or twice in my life. But besides that, no. So I've been very lucky on that aspect. I know some people that just like, oh, I ate a spicy burrito and now I'm sick for 2 days. And I'm like, man, that sucks.
Oh, native has a weak, what do you call this? Like, native has a sensitive stomach.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you guys, especially when you have those stomachs like that and you travel. But... yeah, maybe I have an Asian stomach or a non-American stomach. The coworker in here, Jimmy, has a Hellrom chubby stomach. Oh, look at this. They're grilling up these ones over here. See, I do like these meat sticks over here too. Xin chào. Those are very nice. See, I love those meat sticks like that right there. And like I said, so compare your sanitary stuff from USA. If you were in the USA, they would never call this like sanitary. They would say like, wait a second, why is it not on refrigeration? And why is it open? Insects can get on. So
The uncles are playing.
I'm gonna go over there and go. They play like this checker game, but it's like checker with bottle caps.
Yeah.
Look at this little dog. Dogs always just wander around in Vietnam. Look at him, he's like a little hot dog. What's up, doggy? What's up, buddy? What are you doing today? Why don't they just dump all the garbage into the ocean? That would be terrible. That's even worse. I guess I'd rather have it on the streets than in the ocean. You want to talk about sanitation? I got my first contract, Djibouti, because the U.S. Yeah, I'm sure. I don't think. I'm not going to say Vietnam is on any terrible scale. I'm sure there's 50% of the world is probably worse than here. But I do point out the stuff when I see it, just to be honest and fair. Not enough to persuade me not to be here, but just to be fair and just to give you guys stuff. Because I do get people that have never left the USA, and they would be shocked at some of the stuff. Like, they'd be shocked at people. Xin chào. They'd be shocked at people like that, or they'd be like, why is this garbage? Like, there's some people that were born with a silver spoon in their mouth and would have a heart attack seeing some of this stuff. Especially like when you go to the street markets and you see the meat just out in the open, butchered. There's some people that can't handle that. They're like, oh my God, I need to get out of this place instantly. Zallo Pay with the TRC. Yes, with the TRC, it's much more possible, but there's only very, very limited ways to do a bank account without a TRC. Just a 90-day tourist visa. Yes, really. I worked in DFAC for 6 months and transferred to Iraq. Xin chào. He wants to be on camera. That's the guy that just said hello.
Yeah.
He was flagging us down. Hello, hello, hello. I don't know. Maybe he thinks we're... Let's cross the street here. We can walk. Flavio, hold this real quick. Let's go. But I do notice a lack of restaurants on here, at least compared to An Thuong. So here's like a real little small market. Let's try to find out the custard apples. That's kind of our thing. Xin chào. Fluffy, where's the custard apples? No? Doesn't have any. I wish I knew the name. Oh, they are. No, those aren't them. The custard apples. No custard apples. No custard. Fluffy, I've had these before. These taste like grapes. That's what they taste like. Xin chào.
Grapes?
I am a banker. Watch which country is better to retire. If you're, I'm gonna definitely say Vietnam for multiple reasons. Vietnam is gonna have a cheaper cost of living. Vietnam, you do not see homeless people. You don't see people coming up to you asking you for money. The food is better, in my opinion. You don't have blackout issues. You don't have terrible internet. The cost of living, way lower. But here's where I'm going to say the Philippines beats Vietnam. Two cases. Having English, a lot more English, and having a 3-year visa without ever leaving the country. So if you guys are terrified of not having English and you never want to do a visa run for 3 years compared to 3 months in Vietnam, then the Philippines is better. But the problem is you give up a lot of quality and a lot of extra cost of living money a month to live in the Philippines. So if you guys don't want to travel and do visa runs and you have lots of money that you don't care about spending, maybe the Philippines is a better option. But if you like to get bang for your buck, live cheaper, not have to deal with homeless or people coming up to you coming out of 7-Eleven, and you don't want to deal with blackouts, expensive electricity, Wi-Fi that's terrible, then Vietnam wins in a lot of categories. Yes, you do have to go and update it every 3 months when you get a new visa. Which country is better to retire in? That's my opinion. I do enjoy some cities in the Philippines, but I understand the Philippines cons, and it's kind of tough for a budget traveler and someone that if you're a budget traveler that works online, the Philippines is going to be a pretty bad nightmare. To save money and to work online and have to deal with the blackout issues or the terrible internet, you're going to be running into some problems. Dark brother, you better not say that. My old coworker right above you, he gets so mad when you say that the Philippines food is not that good. He gets so mad. When I was on the phone with him, he was about to cry. He was about to cry, so he thinks the Philippines food is the best in the whole world. So if you tell him Vietnamese food is better, he will try to grab you through the phone screen. The Vietnamese people, my wife and I hang out and speak English, and so I'm not gonna say that there's no English speaking people in Vietnam, but I'm gonna tell you, if you grabbed 100 Filipino people in the Philippines and 100 local Vietnamese, you're going to find much, much, much better English and much more conversational English in the Philippines than Vietnam. That's just a straight fact. And choke you out. See, he's mad. He's already getting mad that you're talking about. But the crazy part is he's never even lived in the Philippines. I think he's only been to the Philippines like twice in his life.
So you're saying the Filipino food that Jimmy has tasted are like more of like USA food.
He thinks authentic Philippines food is Jollibee. I've been to the Philippines 100 times longer than he's ever been, but yet he's like a freaking a Philippines army guy. If you ask him, he thinks he's been in the Philippines. I think he's only been in the Philippines for maybe a month of his life total, if that. Banana Hills, no, I've never been to Banana Hills. We did go to the statue of Lady Buddha the other day. But I've never been to Banana Hills. I've been here for over a year and a half, never went. It is pretty expensive. Fluffy didn't realize. $35 for a ticket. So 35, that's 70. Plus you got to pay for transportation. Yeah, so you're looking at well over $100 for two people, which is crazy. $100 is freaking 40, 80. It's like 3 million VND. Because so the Philippines,
for the two of us, that would be like around half of our rent.
Not half of our rent. It would be half of our food budget a month.
No,
$100.
Like 3 million. So like 6 million.
Our rent is 14 million. Our food budget is about 5. So.
Look at that. Chiclo. He's riding the Chiclo.
This is my girlfriend. That's my girlfriend. I'm not married. Yes, because in the Philippines, when you go to school, the teachers teach you. Yes. Same thing. So the Philippines, in my opinion, has much more English than Thailand and even much more than Vietnamese. So it's just... Now, would it be great if Vietnamese learned English in elementary school? Maybe in 20 years, 30 years, maybe Vietnam would have as much English. Maybe. But as of now, Thailand and Vietnam are going to have lack of English. Now, here's the benefit to having a lack of English in my experience. I've been to 20 countries in the world, and the lack of English or the less amount of English that you have, cheaper countries are. It just naturally works out that way. For example, some of the cheapest countries I've been to in the world have a lack of English. China, Vietnam.
How about in Europe?
Europe's kind of hard, but... I think we're gonna put our second troll up here. There we go. So Cam, he's looking for drug dealers. So YouTube, if you guys want to find a drug dealer for Cam, please, that is his profile. And if you guys want, give him a thumbs up and give him suggestions on where to find him. Don't delete it, Cam. Don't delete it. You're pinned. So if you delete it, you're getting kicked out of the room. So you wanted your attention. We gave you the attention. We pinned your comments. So now you're stuck. If you delete that, you will be tossed out permanently. The only good tasting food in the Philippines, fried chicken. I do like the fried chicken. I like the spring rolls.
Yeah.
I like the spring rolls, and then I like the breakfast meat. I always forget what that is.
Tapa.
It's like a breakfast beef steak.
tapa.
I like.
Beef tapa.
I don't think you have to say it that way.
Because you don't listen. It's called tapa.
It was not a genuine question. For one, why are you asking for someone for a drug dealer online? Doesn't make any sense. For two, what city are you in? For three, I don't do drugs, so completely irrelevant. My the rotisserie chicken. What's good monthly budget? So I consider my monthly budget good. 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1 block off the beach. Us going to local food, drinking, eating, entertainment, all runs us a total of $750 a month for every single bill that you can think of. That's our 2 cell phone plans, that's our transportation, that's our entertainment, that's our food, that's our rent, that's our electricity, everything. $750 for me for 2 people. No, she's not from Vietnam. She's from the Philippines. We're gonna let the audience answer that, because it's, you know, it's a very relevant question to ask. Who's your favorite drug dealer in a travel channel? Because it's very relevant, right? Big thumbs up. The Philippines has 3 first languages in English, but all government documents are in English. I'm still teaching Fluffy English. What?
Jimmy, you know, we'll learn a Filipino word.
Yeah, it's called Jollibee.
No, dal-dal. Because he's dal-dal, madal-dal.
Fluffy, don't be dal-dal.
You are dal-dal. You always dal-dal with Jimmy.
Actually, we're coming out of the rainy season, Saku. So rainy season is from September to usually January. This year has been very weird. I feel like we're a month off. Usually, we've been here in February 2 years in a row. Usually middle of February-ish, the sun is out, it's pretty hot. But this year, it's the winter rainy season, whatever you want to call it, has went on for about an extra month. But now we're entering the prime season. So all the way from now until September will be the prime hot season. Yeah, it's been cloudy the past couple days, but about a week ago, it was very hot. We even went down to the beach. I got into the ocean. But over the past couple days, it's been like this. Now it makes sense with English. I've never experienced, so I've experienced the rain this season, but the rain was very mild this year. So people told me, man, there's going to be typhoons and hurricanes. It did not happen this year. So I've been here for 13 months in a row now. September, everyone said, hey, the rainy season's coming. All of September, it never rained. It did not start raining till about the middle of October, and it was very light at the beginning. It was a little bit harder, like end of October into November, but there was no typhoons here in Da Nang. There was no hurricanes, nothing like that, just on and off rain. So it wasn't bad at all. Did you celebrate April 1st?
April Fools!
Yeah, Fluffy is the fool. We use our feet. That's our transportation. We walk mostly 99% of everywhere, and then we will take an app called InDrive, which is a cheaper version of Grab, and that we only use maybe 4 to 5 times a month. So we spend less than $10 a month on transportation. Usually it's closer to 5, but we usually walk everywhere. Where we live, we're located where every single thing is. Our local market, our grocery stores, our restaurants, the beach, everything is there. So 99% of the time we walk. Yes, he is talking to himself. What city would you recommend first time? If you're just going to say any international city, if we're going to narrow it down to Asian countries, I'm going to probably tell you guys 2 different cities, and they kind of are a little bit different. One, I'm going to say Bangkok. Bangkok, you're going to get plenty of English, especially in the most areas that you're going to go to.
I would say.
You're going to get it in Bangkok, especially in the tourist area. You're going to get the entertainment. You're going to get the nightlife. You're going to get a little bit of cheapness coming to the USA. It's not going to be as cheap as Da Nang and stuff like that. Or you could go to a place like the Philippines where you're going to get a lot of English, but you are going to pay more. But it's a Western, the most Westernish speaking version of Asia. And maybe go to a city like Manila or Cebu. Then once you kind of get used to those kind of cities and you kind of understand, you get used to the food, you get used to traffic, all that stuff, maybe start venturing it out to like a place like Da Nang. Da Nang is a great place. Da Nang problem probably with first timers is going to be, it's going to be a culture shock because it's Asia. 2, it's going to be lack of English compared to like a Bangkok and a Manila. But it's a great city. So Da Nang would probably be a good second city after you got your feet wet with like a much more simpler Asian city. Grand Canyon State? No, I'm from California. I'm from the Bay Area. Cam. I would hope that he has better things to do, but who knows?
If you're gonna just stay here, I'm gonna...
Where are you gonna go? Where?
No, I'm just gonna check the shop.
You can go check the shop. I guess I'll sit here. I'll answer some Q&A questions. Fluffy is gonna go to this shop, which I don't... I'm not a window shopper, so...
Bye.
I'm at South Vung Tau. If we move out of our apartment this month, we will probably go check out Vung Tau. So here's what my plan is. Assuming we move out of our apartment, we are going to travel down south. We're going to go to Wien Yon, which we've already been to last year. We're going to go to Nha Trang, possibly Phu Yen, possibly Vung Tau, Ho Chi Minh, Can Tho. That'll be our last stop, and then we will make our way all the way back up to Da Nang. So we'll spend about a month doing that. So basically, that is what we're gonna do. Now, Vung Tau, I don't think is gonna be. Xin chào. Vung Tau is gonna be basically a complete opposite of Da Nang. So here's what I'm really primarily looking for. I'm looking for exact copycat city of Da Nang, but at 10 to 20% cheaper, and I just don't think it's going to exist. So I'm very interested. If you're in Vung Tau, please tell me how drastically different it is than Da Nang. Because here's my check boxes when I look for a city. I look for international airport, beach city. I look for low cost of living, like $700 or less, $800 or less. I look for Western amenities, Western restaurants. Not saying that's all I go to at all, but I need to have that when I in a normal week, we'll go to 5 local restaurants, and then we might go to 2 restaurants that are Western. So I just can't go live out in the province or a random city like that because it's just not. I'm just not a province guy. I'm not a small city province guy at all. Gabriel Iglesias. YouTube. YouTube.
Okay.
Doing YouTube. Let me see. Ah. I see. Oh, I don't have nothing. I just have Timo. Probably not Nha Trang. I heard is yes. I have heard Nha Trang is the closest city in terms of being like Da Nang, but I've heard 3 downsides. 1, it's a much more party-centric city. I don't drink alcohol, I don't go to clubs, I don't party. So that is not a benefit, it's actually more of a negative to me. Downside number 2, I heard it's slightly more expensive. Not by much, but slightly more expensive. Downside number 3 is that they don't have a legit bus visa run. So you guys know every 3 months, I get on Lin Visa, and I do a visa run every 3 months, right? So technically they do have a bus visa run, but it takes 23 hours, and you go to Cambodia, I believe it is. So it's impossible. So I would have to do the more expensive longer flight visas, and I don't want to do that. They're more expensive, and I got to be out of the country for 3 to 5 days, so it's not a great option. But Vong Tau is not a westernized city like Da Nang, so that's another downside. So for me, it's not just about cheap. I know you guys always think, oh, he wants to be in the cheapest city. No. I want to be in the best value, best bang for your buck city. So for example, I would rather pay $100 more, but get the Western amenities, have an international airport, have an awesome beach, have a Western area, than to save $100 and just be around 100% local atmosphere, no malls, no Western area, no Western restaurants. So for me, it's about bang for your buck. It's not necessarily about the cheapest. I am in Da Nang, Vietnam, and we are outside. Taiwan, I've been to Taiwan for a very tiny time for a quick layover, but never really explored it. But Taiwan is definitely not going to be as cheap as Vietnam. And the other downside about Vietnam is Fluffy would only get a 30-day visa. So technically, I think I get a free 90-day no visa required, but Fluffy couldn't get that long. So her visa would be messed up, plus it's not as cheap as a Da Nang. Kuala Lumpur, we will probably get out there. Whenever I do my next flight out visa run is probably going to be to Kuala Lumpur. Now I do know Kuala Lumpur is going to be more expensive than Da Nang, but I mean, we're kind of stuck in Da Nang if all I want to do is live at this kind of price for this kind of value, because I don't think there's hardly any city that's going to give me better bang for my buck than Da Nang. But beer, cigarettes in Malaysia are more expensive. Luckily, I don't do any of those. I am not cheap. It's more about being cheap, because if I was cheap, I would live in a hostel, I would eat banh mi, and I would eat noodles and live in a tiny hostel. Now, let me clear that rumor up. That's not me. I live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1 block off the beach. I spend $550 just on my rent. But my total monthly budget is $750. So if you guys can add those numbers up, my rent is about 70% of my budget. Entertainment's nearly zero. Transportation is nearly zero because I walk everywhere. And then food and a little bit of entertainment is what the rest of my budget goes to. I don't drink. I don't get massages. I don't go to parties. I don't go to clubs. So I guess it's bang for your buck or value, but it's not cheap. Because if it was cheap, I'd be in a tiny little studio, or I'd be in a hostel, and I'd be eating banh mi 3 times a day. What's up, Army guy? What's up, buddy? Kuala Lumpur is cheaper for food than Vietnam? That's hard for me to believe. So we just ate food, right? Our food that we ate last night at George Costanza was 60,000 VND, which is $2.10 for 2 people, not each. So I'm not sure what that would convert to Taiwan's currency, but $2 So basically $1 at a sit-down restaurant per person. So I can't really imagine Taiwan being cheaper than $1. You can get 50-cent USD currency. Wow. I don't know why, Kodiak. So it's one of 2 reasons. Either the channel is growing, so we're naturally just running into more people that are trolls, or there's a few trolls that just create a bunch of names, and when they get kicked out, they just create a new name. So it's one or the other. But either way, it is a good sign, because back when I had 800 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, even 2,000 subscribers, almost nobody would comment. So there'd be lack of comments, nobody would respond. So it's kind of a sign that the channel is growing, because now I'm important enough for people to come in here and leave troll comments. Otherwise, if I was a nobody just staring at a wall and had 50 subscribers, nobody would make troll comments. So it actually is a good... Malaysia. Oh, Malaysia. We are going to try out Malaysia. We're going to Kuala Lumpur. I'm not sure. So Fluffy is leaving to the Philippines. My next visa run is going to be in June. So I don't think I would go to Kuala Lumpur then. I would probably go to Kuala Lumpur on the next visa run, which would be July, August, September. So maybe in September, we will do Kuala Lumpur. $1 for chicken curries everywhere in Kuala Lumpur. I did hear food is good in Kuala Lumpur, but I heard everything else. Rent is going to be more expensive. Transportation, like Grabs, are going to be more expensive. So that's what I've heard, but I have not been there yet. But I think that is going to be the newest Asian country that I've never been to that I go to next. $350, but it can't. That's the problem, is $350 can't meet my requirements. So I need 50 square meters. I need to be in a specific radius. So right now in An Thuong, I can't just be in anywhere in An Thuong. I have a tiny radius of where I need to be in, and I need to have 50 square meters. So if you look right now in An Thuong, the landlords are insanely jacking up the price. So if I would have moved out to a 1-bedroom about 4 months ago, I could have got a 1-bedroom for about $330. But now those places are like $380, $390 without bills. So that's the problem. Like I said, I would love to be able to say, oh, I can go stay in a studio. No, I can't stay in a studio. Me and Fluffy have 4 bags combined amongst each other. We need a separate living room, we need a separate bedroom, and we need a kitchen. So at that point, you're already at 50 square meters minimum with a bathroom, a separate living room, a separate bedroom. So I need a bedroom. I cannot do the studios. I do need 50 square meters. First of all, I'll tell you, Dark Brother, Fluffy works online, I work online. That means we need to have our separate space. When she needs to make phone calls, she needs to be in another room. That means we need to at least have 1 bedroom and a separate living room. So we need to have both of those, right? And we need a kitchen. So if you have a kitchen, a bathroom, a living room, and a bedroom, you're looking at damn near well over 40 square meters with just that. With just that. The cheesy pullback. There we go. So I cannot lock myself in a closet. You guys don't remember. So this is what you guys got to remember. I'm not a tourist. I live here, meaning some days I don't leave my apartment for 2 or 3 days. So I cannot be locked in a 20 square meter studio staring at the walls while I'm working and Fluffy is sitting right on top of me, next to me, doing her work. So yes, space is a huge thing. We got another one. The job market's probably pretty decent if you want to get, as an American, want to take a teaching job. It's not going to pay much. Much lower than like going to teach English in China. But probably as an American, especially if you have a bachelor's degree, you could probably get a teaching job very easy out here. Your other option out here is probably going to be working online. So if you have some kind of tech skills, you're probably going to be able to get something. Spike is my favorite drug dealer. Here we go. We're just gonna, today is gonna be a day where we kick a lot of people out. Or do you have a date? I don't. So here's my story. I left the United States. I saved up 1 year of cost of living, right? So 1 year of cost of living in Vietnam. I moved out. That's all I came here. I don't have a retirement. I'm too young for a retirement. Don't have a pension. Don't have a job. Don't have anything. So I came out here and I said, I'm going to figure out something. Luckily, back in September, I became monetized on YouTube. I am not breaking even on my bills compared to the YouTube channel, but I am recouping back roughly about 70% of what I put out each month. So it's not 100% recouped back, but I did slow down the bleeding of paying out of pocket. Well, that's what I'm saying, Dark Brother. So we need a 1-bedroom. We need a 1-bedroom with a separate living room, with a kitchen, right? Which I've been desperately trying to do. But here's what the problem is right now, Dark Brother. So we're definitely looking to go into a 1-bedroom. But the problem is they've raised the prices so high, and we got such a good deal at our 2-bedroom. To go to a 1-bedroom, they're asking damn near 90% of what we pay for a 2-bedroom. So it doesn't make sense to go to a 1-bedroom. For example, I'm paying $475 US for the 2-bedroom, right? $475. So we get 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, right? 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, $475 for the rent part, right? So if I go look at a 1-bedroom, they want like $400 or $410 for a 1-bedroom, 1 bath. And I'm like, it's only a $60 difference. So that's $2 a day. I'm like, why am I going to downgrade, lose a bathroom, lose a bedroom to save a measly $1.87 a day? It's like, no, I'm just going to stay in the 2-bedroom. That's the problem. So now I would love to go to a 1-bedroom. So let's say I spend $475 on a 2-bedroom, what we pay at right now, right? I would love to go to a 1-bedroom for $300 or $320 or even $330. But the problem is the landlords are asking for $400 plus for a 1-bedroom now. And it's like, wait a second, that's crazy. Singapore International Schools here pay $4,000 a month. The language center is only $500. But I think international schools, I think you got to have a lot more teaching credentials. So in China, you can make $3,800 no problem, just having a bachelor's degree, a TESOL, and you can work in a private kindergarten even. It would be a very, very easy. You'd work maybe 4 or 5 hours a day. You get a month off in summer paid. You get 2 months off in winter paid. And they pay for your housing too. So China gives you free housing. Compare that to Vietnam. So Vietnam, you might make in Da Nang, you might make $900 at a low to maybe $1,200 at high working in Da Nang a month. $900 US probably at the lowest if you worked almost a full time. $1,200 maximum if you work full time, right? They will not pay for your apartment. They don't even pay for 100% of your TRC. So you have to pay 50% of your TRC, and you work Saturdays, you work nights, and you do not get any paid vacation in the summer or the winter. So it doesn't make sense to cheat yourself of 75% lower pay, plus a harder schedule, plus no rental assistance, plus have to pay for half your TRC visa. Doesn't make sense. It's much better to go to China financially. Dark brother, I've never used an agent, first of all. Second of all, if you come here, go look at the market. That's why you see so many videos where people are going crazy about what's going on in Da Nang's rental place. I walk every single day, and we go look for apartments every single day. Every single day. The renting market is insane right now. And what's happening is all these brand new Western people are hearing about Da Nang, and they're coming here and they're saying, oh, I spend $1,500 on a studio in Boston. Oh, you're only asking $800? What a deal. And they're jacking up the price, all those first time. TRC is a temporary residency card, which is the visa that you get when you get a job in Vietnam. It's basically like a 1-year visa. So you get like a 1-year visa, and shockingly, it's crazy. Vietnam makes you pay for 50%, at least if you work at a school. So if you get hired as teaching English at a school, the school will pay 50%, and then they require you to pay 50%. Crazy, to pay for your working visa. That's another thing that kind of makes me mad about the TRC. Yeah, but if you have a teacher's license, you might as well go to any other country. I'm just talking about people that have a bachelor's degree and a TESOL. Now, if you have a teaching degree, you can go anywhere in the world. Like, there's no point of limiting yourself to Asia. A lot of these teachers, I would say probably 80% of these teachers that are out in Southeast Asia are bachelor's degree or less with TESOL certificates. Now, if you got a teaching degree, you're one of maybe 10%. But it's much better. You go to China with a bachelor's degree and just a TESOL, you're making $4,000 a month. Show me another country besides China with just a bachelor's degree, no teaching license, that you make that kind of money and a free apartment. How is the communist form of government in Vietnam? I have never mentioned it. Not mentioned how non-invasive. So it might sound weird. I've been to 2 communist countries. I've been to China and Vietnam. China, I definitely feel a different sense of the communist country. Here, never. I never see police. I never see police. I never see people getting pulled over. I just shot some video inside buildings, no problem. So I never experienced that at all. 2 bonnets per day. Yeah, there is some people that hire people without teacher's license. But even with the teacher's license in Vietnam, you're making 60% less than what you would make without a teaching license in Vietnam. I mean, in China. So in China, without a teaching license, just a bachelor's degree, you'll make $4,000 a month. Here, even if you had a teaching license in Vietnam, I bet you probably wouldn't even make $3,000 a month at best. Is there an age cap? As far as what? As far as what? Yeah, so I do not have a teaching license. I have a bachelor's degree, and I have a TESOL. So no teaching license. A bachelor's degree and a Tesla. Yeah, China is way, way better. Not only that, not only the pay is better, but you get a free apartment. And the apartments are halfway decent. They're decent sized. Not only that, but you get a whole month of paid vacation in summer, and you get almost 2 months of paid winter vacation. So there's just so many benefits. There's so many benefits. Or you can teach English in Da Nang, Vietnam, and make $1,200 a month, have to pay for half your visa, and no money for your apartment, and work nights, work weekends, and get paid no vacation time in the summer or the winter. So it doesn't make sense. So you need TEFL if you're an English native. I don't think you necessarily, it's not a requirement, but the majority of schools do want that. Bachelor's degree is absolutely the minimum for most legal jobs. Now in Vietnam and some other countries, they kind of dance around that and say, oh, you don't need a bachelor's degree. But for me, I have a bachelor's degree and a TESOL. But at minimum, almost all countries require at least a bachelor's degree. Most do want a TESOL certificate. Age cap, I think in China, I want to say in China, off the top of my mind, I think it was about 55. I could be wrong, but I think it's roughly there. A&E has an ESPN opening on Flex Jobs. Yeah, but I guarantee there's 8,400,000 people applying for that job, and mine would probably never even get looked at. Is there an age cap for teaching in China? I think it's 55. I want to say it's 55. I could be wrong, but I think it's 55. Tesla? What, Fluffy?
Should be happy for me.
I'm happy for you.
I did not buy anything out of that store.
You're broke. What are you going to buy? You don't have credits.
I saw a hat, a good one, but I didn't buy it. You should be happy for me.
You don't have money to buy it even if you wanted it.
You should be happy for me.
How can you buy something with no money?
No money, you ask your daddy.
Well, how is he going to send it from Philippines?
No money, you ask your boyfriend.
I don't have any money.
You ask your boyfriend.
I only have QR code.
They do have QR code there, Fluff.
Well, I only have 380,000 left in it. Yes, I would say that. Da Nang is an amazing place for two kinds of people. Retired people, it's awesome. And online workers, it's awesome. Da Nang is still pretty decent. I'm not going to say Da Nang is amazing or awesome for cheaper budget travelers. It's still solidly good. But if you don't have an online job, if you don't have a retirement pension or some kind of income, just as a wandering budget guy like me, Da Nang is still amazing for the value. But it's very, very hard when you don't have a income. But practically, you could say that about any city in the world. Yeah, also women. I'd probably say if you guys really need women, Da Nang is going to be a harder place to find that. Unless you guys want to pay. But don't come here for women unless you want a mid. RG study. I've never really heard that. I know multiple people that have worked in China that are personal friends. I haven't really. I've heard a couple of stories like how like the worst case scenario, but it usually doesn't work that way. Usually, it's just a couple of rare situations. If they didn't pay me, honestly, I'd be on the next. So what I would do, I wouldn't show up to work if they already, because I was very close to going to China to take a teaching job. And I already knew, like, if they didn't pay me, if they tried to, like, play around, I just wouldn't show up to class. So they would go to school, and they'd be like, where's the teacher? And they would probably come to my apartment and say, hey, what's going on? Why aren't you in class today? You guys haven't paid me. I'm not teaching until you guys have paid my last month. You guys didn't pay me. And I guarantee you, really, really quickly, they pay you. Because they're going to be answering to a lot of paying parents of why their teacher wasn't there. So a lot of you guys... I'm not going to say you guys specifically, but a lot of these teachers get walked all over because they can see them a mile away, that they're just happy. That's why they like to hire a lot of younger teachers that are just coming out of high school, that just graduated college, younger guys, right? Because they're like, hey, we could take advantage of these guys. These guys are just happy to be out of the country. They've never got their feet wet in traveling. But I would only go to China for financial reasons. I'm sure I would enjoy parts of China, but the biggest motivation to go to China would be to make the $4,000 a month and bank money there. So as soon as that first check didn't come, I wouldn't show up to work. Even if you eat Western food out every day, you can do it on 1,500. Yeah, I think, unless you just go crazy on the Western food. But yeah, I mean, like I would consider Bikini Bottom's Western food. Me and Fluffy eat a double burger with fries there for like $8. So let's even assume that you spent, let's say you went to Bikini Bottoms every single day, or the equivalent to that price. $8 for breakfast, $8 for lunch, $8 for dinner. That's $25, right? So you're spending $750, under $800 on all your food. Even if you got an expensive apartment like me, $540, $800 and $500 is $1,300. I mean, you're still under $1,500 with going to eat insane amounts of Western food 3 times a day. You're still under $1,500. That's why I say I could not spend $1,500, especially being here for over a year and a half and knowing where deals are, knowing what the local prices are, not having to take transportation. $1,500, especially if I was by myself, would be practically impossible. Because I would have to spend another $1,000 on top of my rent. I mean, that's like spending like $35 a day outside of my rent. How the hell, like, Fluffy, how much is put in $35 in your currency converter to VND? 35 US dollars.
Wait, there's commercial.
Why do you have that stupid one? You need the one that I have, no commercials. 35 US dollars to dong. Oh my god, I gotta bring... Fluffy's like the slowest.
900,000?
900,000. So you guys would have to spend 900,000 a day. So let's just call it roughly $1 million. So do you know how much we just spent for our dinner last night?
Remember who's
60,000 VND for 2 people.
Happy, let's walk. Who's the one who's having dinner, breakfast for 900 pesos?
Mark. Like, I don't even think that would even be $35 a day. But look, we just ate dinner last night for 60,000. We would have to spend 900,000 for a day. Like, 900,000 is insane. Like, even if we went and got Western Gilda Chicago style pizza, it's 250,000. So I'm still left with 750,000 for the rest of the day. Like, you just couldn't spend that much.
Are we walking back home?
That's definitely a lie. Definitely a lie. Let me clarify that. So 2,000, people that say they need 2,000 to live in the Philippines, it's 100% a lie. Now, where I'll tell you that maybe he's accurate is if he goes and spends money on prostitutes, women, he has a drinking problem,
That's fair.
and he only eats American food, and he lives in BGC in the most place, then yes, maybe 2,000. But if you live in Bacolod, if you live in Cebu even, if you do not have a drinking problem, a drug problem, if you do not go out and hire prostitutes and go out and pay women all the time, you are not going to spend 2,000. You guys know I talk saying that Philippines is much more expensive. But me and Fluffy just lived in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1 block from the beach in the Philippines, in Cebu last year. Granted, we did cook 80% of the time, but we spent $940 US. Let's try to, we got a green light, but we can't go. We spent $940 on all of our bills in Cebu, which is half of what he's telling you that you need. I don't understand. We have a green light, but we can't go. And this guy's just freaking, let's just go. Let's go. We got a green light. We got a green light, but we can't go. So we did it for $940. Now, granted, like I just said, we cooked 80% of the time, but 2,000 is not. But remember, I don't drink, so I didn't spend any money on alcohol. I didn't go out and pay for women. I have a girlfriend. So that just tells you how much, and I had a 2-bedroom. I didn't even have a 1-bedroom. I had a 2-bedroom. So that shows you how much these guys are spending on women, drugs, alcohol, Western food. They're spending $1,000 US or more on that. We lived right by, what was the mall, Fluffy? SM Mall, about 10 minutes from the Ayala Mall in Cebu. That's where we lived at, a 2-bedroom condo. Baggie of Coke. We don't get Coke in bags. We get Cokes in cans and bottles. Did you live in? We lived in Cebu, right across from the SM Mall.
Let's walk to Vincom.
The minimum Social Security now is $1,800 a month. Early Social Security at 62 is about $1,500.
Did you try?
It's okay. That's quite accurate. Once lifestyle commands higher maintenance for budget. So that just points out. So that shows you that a lot of these guys are spending 50% of their budget on alcohol, women, and Western activities. That's literally the truth. So if you need that, jack your budget up 50% of what you would have without it. So literally, that's gonna jack your budget up 50%. So if you guys look at me and you guys say, hey, I drink, hey, I party, hey, I pay women, if my budget's like $750, double my budget. That's what your budget's gonna be if you guys need that stuff. You're gonna literally pay a 50% markup of my lifestyle. Was it SM Seaside, Fluffy? No, SM what? SM City. It was called SM City. It's right
by the port.
It's right by the port, and it was only about a 10 minutes from the Ayala Mall by IT Park. 2,000 is crazy. How are you? We're right on the Dragon Bridge. Vincom?
Yeah.
Oh no, Fluffy. I did my 10,000.
No! 10,000 pesos you did.
$500 US is enough if you cook for yourself. I don't know if I could do 500. Now, if I was in a tiny studio, a hostel for sure, but to even live in a 1-bedroom out here is going to cost me minimum $300 US. That would leave me with 200 left over. It'd be very, very tough. Very tough because a lot of these restaurants that we go to are as cheap to cook for. I don't think I could, even with my budgeting style and Fluffy being gone, I don't think I could do under 500. I think I'm at like very low 500s if I was able to 100% crack down and be by myself. Men are way high more maintenance. Kiddos. I'm glad I don't have a wife, because then it would be too expensive for me. And like I said, Fluffy only cost me about $100 on average a month. About an extra $100. Because remember, we live in the same apartment, so the apartment doesn't cost me anything extra. If we take Grab or InDrive, which is transportation, I don't pay for 2 people. It's one car, so it doesn't jack it up. So the only thing that I pay for that adds her stuff is her food and the little entertainment that we spend. So it's only about $100. I think maybe 1 month it was like $130. Like I think we went bowling and we had like two nights of pizza and stuff like that, but it's under $130. I mean, how many massages can you get for $130 in a month? Fluffy this, fluffy that. 85 million to build this. I did not know that.
Know what?
This is Da Nang, Vietnam.
Da Nang, Vietnam.
Yeah, see, that's my... So, you guys call me cheap and all this stuff, but I am... For me, saving $12 a month is not a big enough savings to go, hey, you don't get any AC, you just have to deal with the fan. No, 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 no. I am cheap, but it's called value conscious. I say, hey, I'd rather have the AC for $12 extra a month. I know some people are like, hey, I save $1. Oh, I'll save $1 and I'll just take the fan. It's like, you got to understand, there's a certain amount of cost that's worth it, and there's a certain amount of cost that's not worth it. That Dragon Bridge is 85 million. That's crazy. I love the Dragon Bridge though. This is the tail end. This is the tail end. Yeah, I'm always curious how Vietnamese make it out here, because like what they pay, what they make a month is like what most of foreigners pay just for rent. But I guess it's the Asian culture, so you're gonna find a lot of Asian people live with their parents still, or they live with someone. I think the majority of Vietnamese people, even if they're not married, I don't think they're living alone single. They're living with someone. In Korea, I heard most people don't even leave their family's house until they get married. So if they don't get married till 28, 30 years old, they're living with their parents till 30 years old. Yeah, it has to be that. It has to be that. That in the USA is such a weird logic. As soon as we're 18, we want our privacy. We want to get out of our parents' house. We do not want to be told what to do. We do not want to have rules. So it's so weird for us to look over here and be like, hey, I got to go back to my mom's house. Like, wait a second, how old are you? Oh, I'm 31. What do you mean you got to go back to your mom's? Oh, yeah, I live with my mom. You're like, in USA, you say, what? Do you have a drug problem? Are you homeless? What kind of problem? People, that's literally how Americans would think. They'd say, what kind of problem do you have in your life that you're living with your parents at this age?
Me, the only thing I don't like about living in my parents' house is following my dad's rules.
Yeah, I was so ready to leave 20 years ago or so. 20 something years ago. When I left my house, I already felt like I was too old. I just could not imagine living with my parents at 25, 26, 27. Oh my God. I don't know how they do it. But yes, in the end, they save a lot of money. Save a lot of money. But for me, like I said, I'm not a cheap guy. If I was a cheap guy, I'd say, hey man, I'm gonna live with my parents till I'm 87 years old and save all the money. No, I can't do that. I was willing to be out on my own and spend rent money to get freedom. I'm willing to pay for my freedom of, hey, I don't want to bring my friends over because I got to be quiet because my parents are sleeping. Yeah, it's so crazy. Now, can you guys imagine what it would be like if Asians were like Americans and they couldn't rely on their family at 18? So, Fluffy, what would it be like if in Asia, if Asian parents were like American parents and said like, hey, you got to go at 18? Like, how would the country be if you guys had to be like us?
It would be better because like people would be more independent.
But how would they financially survive?
They would learn, like, because like you guys at 16 you can work, but in the Philippines 16 is you're still a minor, or like you're as long as you still live with your parents, you have to follow by rules. And most Asians are like Filipino parents, they think that once a kid experience on having money, they would not go to school. And like school is like an achievement for parents. That would be like once your kid finish college, like that's an achievement. That's like something good for the parents. So as much as possible, they want their kid to just study and like finish college, have a degree, and like have a good life.
There's another point that you guys just made up that it was in the back of my mind and I forgot about till you guys mentioned it. But another big thing in Asia is, so in USA, here's the typical American lifestyle logic, right? Oh, when you get in love and you have kids, you get married, right? Because you want to have kids. In Asia, I'm not going to say all, but in Asia, typically having kids is a benefit for the parents, not a money pit. You know why? Because they have the kids go help them do chores. They have them do work. Guess what? When they get old and they're 70 years old, guess who's taking care of the parents? That is they're hoping one of their kids makes it out and then starts sending money back to the family. Where in the USA, it's the opposite. Like most Americans are not going to be paying for their parents when they're 70 and 80 years old. You go earn, you work money, and then you save up. You have a retirement thing. And yes, some people have to go to nursing homes at the end and they spend a lot of money. But in America, you don't rely on, oh, when I'm 80 years old, my kids are going to take care of me and they're going to send me money.
That only
In
happens-
Asia, that is a very normal logic
Well, I
of thinking.
guess. But
Like,
then
hey,
what-
if you
what
ask
if
people,
Vegas-
if you ask people in Asia, most countries, probably Vietnam, probably Philippines, hey, who's going to take care of your parents when they're old? They're going to say, oh, I am, or me and my brothers. And it's like, that is not an American way of thinking.
Yeah, and like in the Philippines, like when you're still single and you're old, like they worry about you. Like what's gonna happen to you in your life if you stay single and like no one's gonna take care of you? Or like sometimes they would say that, oh, you should bear one child. Why?
70?
So that someone would look after you when you
How
when you
could-
get old.
How old are your parents? I mean,
Oh.
he said his brother is 70 still living with his parents. How old are your parents? Man, your parents are pretty old.
No, but like your dad, when your dad turns 70, how old that would you be?
When my dad is 70, I will be...
No, when you turn 70, your dad.
My dad will be 91.
Oh, yeah, maybe around that time.
Okay, so
It's-
your dad's about the same age. Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty old, man.
It's
That's a good age, man. A lot of people are not even here at 90. I don't know. It's a personal choice. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about supporting your parents. In America, the logic is you go get a good job, you go to college, you make money, and you put away, you invest. So by the time you retire, you have lots of money that you put away,
but
plus your
here-
social security.
here's the
You wouldn't
question.
depend on your kids.
Okay, here's the question. Your parents did not send you to college and like you survive and thrive on your own. But what if you're someone who's earning, like you have a degree and like you're earning? Would you give back to your parents?
Ship them away. No. If I had money, probably yes. But
It's just
as an
like-
American, that is not something that I even think about until maybe something like that happened. But it's not something on my mind thinking like, oh yeah, you know, at 70 years old, I'm going to have to take like
See,
that.
yeah.
Most Americans are never thinking about that.
Like my parents, they're not expecting anything from me. But like if you give them money or like you give them gift, that's a thank you for them. That's how it's just that there are some Asians who's really generous and give out like, oh, I'm so thankful for my parents. I'll send them to a nice place. I'll take care of them. That's like their thank you as well as Asians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
So
course,
it's
there's going to be
not-
people on different
it's
sides. But
not
what I'm saying is,
responsibility. What's hard is like there would be poor people. Like example, farmers in the Philippines, what happens to their kids, they have so much kids, they send the eldest to the...
Yeah, but
They
what you're
send someone-
what you're saying right now, this is a whole plan. Like in the USA, if like something tragically happened, then yes, your family would probably step in. But knowing this as a young age, you kind of grow up knowing, hey, at the end of my parents' life, even at 12 years old, you kind of already know, hey, I'm going to be the one that takes care of my parents when they're old. We don't grow up at 12 years old. When kids are listening to music and watching Netflix, they're not thinking, oh, you know, when my dad gets old, I'm going to have to take care of him. We're going to say, no, my dad, he works a good job and, you know, he invests, he does the stock market thing. You know, he's going to have a lot of money and he already owns his house. So the reason is because we have Social Security. Like a lot of these Asian countries don't have retirement, don't have Social Security. So their kids are their pension. That's how it works.
It's not all, but like there are what's hard is like some, like for example, like some farmers they have so much kids, 8 kids, that's a lot. And like they could not afford to send all kids. So what happens to the younger ones who can help their parents at the young age, they no longer get sent to school. But what happens is they help out the parents to work for them. Like if you can plant already, you have to help at the farm, you have to take care of the farm. So like only the good ones, like the chosen ones, get to go to school. And what happens is the families is poor, so the eldest one who was sent to school, that person should provide for the next child. So that's hard.
It's kind of expected though. That's the thing. That's the whole point that I'm getting after. In the USA, it's not like that. USA, now maybe some people do that, but it's not a thing that's expected in the USA. What's expected in the USA, okay, a typical USA family is you go to school or you go get a good job so that you can retire with a good amount of money. That logic is not as common in Asia. Like I bet you most Filipino families don't expect their kids to go to college, get a good job, build a house, go and have some kind of investment where they're rich at 60 years old and can support themselves. It's, hey, just go get any job, work at 16 years old, whether you go to school or not, and then send some money back to the family. Once we're 18, we move out of our house, and now our money that we make is for us and our family that we create and our life. It's like a book. At 18 years old, our family life shuts. Once we're done there, your parents raise you. Now they taught you how to raise a family. That's how the United States mindset works. Where in Asia, it's like, hey, let's go have 6 kids because we're playing the lottery that one of these kids is going to end up with a good job and then they're going to come back and help us at the end. That's how it goes. I agree with that statement. Money doesn't make everyone happy 100%, but it makes things a lot easier 100%. So, having money, I'd rather be depressed and have money than depressed and not have money.
Oh my goodness, that's so bad, Will.
No, so would you rather be depressed and have money or not have money? I'd rather, if I'm going to be depressed, I'd rather have money being depressed. Because there's nothing worse than being depressed and not having money. So having money definitely helps. Yeah, Western's got Social Security, you get nothing to worry about. That is true.
Filipinos get Social Security as well. It's just that it's not a voluntary, like not everyone works in the Philippines. Like some has business, small business. It's not planned.
I'm quite fascinated how Fluffy tries to defend her case based on her facial reaction and the tactical maneuvers.
No, it's just like being Filipino that we have so much facial expression.
Yes, having money is always going to help. I cannot imagine a situation where having money is ever going to hurt your situation, no matter how you feel. Like let's say you're depressed or you're mentally crazy or whatever you are. Having money versus not having money is always still going to be better. When would you ever imagine having money would be a negative thing?
When you
I think the only way that having money would be a burden
When
is if you have
you-
so much money that people just constantly
when
come
your
and ask you for money.
When your money did not come from like a good thing, like you're having money but people suffer. That's something bad.
We are down here at the Dragon Bridge area. We got
I'm
24
sleepy.
25 thumbs up. Yeah, man, I gotta start thinking about freaking Social Security too. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I think
What happened to that?
you scratched me. There's some people with some helmets.
Who's saying that about me?
Who's saying what?
Birting.
When you're a drug addict, and maybe, but if you were a drug addict, would you rather not have money or have money? That's the kind of the thing. But I can't see. I just don't find too many situations. Now, there might be some, but whatever the situation you're in, would it be better to have money or not have money? I think almost any time, no
To
matter.
be or not to be? That is the question. To be or not to be?
Maybe,
That's
maybe.
Shakespeare.
But I kind of
To
think.
be or not
I
to
kind of
be?
think that's always the other side of the fence. So if you don't have money, I think you always want to have money. And then if you're Bill Gates and you're depressed and that, you go like,
It's
oh, I don't
always
want
the-
money.
it's
I'd
always
rather
the
not have
answer.
money.
The grass is always greener on the other side, or like you always find something that you don't have. I think that's life. That's how life is. Don't ya? Don't ya? Don't you think?
Cam, we're on a kicking out mission, so I'm gonna have to kick you. Normally I don't kick people, but I'm gonna have to kick you, buddy. So there we go. Everybody say goodbye to Cam. Had a friend 20 years ago because his friend kept on giving him money.
To be
Or not to be. Money is a good thing in general, but to have it, not to have it, no doubt, but it's never enough. See, that's why I don't know how many people are like me. So people ask me like, hey, when would you be financially satisfied? And I tell them I have a very, very simple answer. I say, whatever my bills are a month, like let's say someone just said, hey, total up all your bills of whatever you wanted to do in a month. Let's say you wanted to go eat pizza once a week, you wanted to live at the same apartment, and let's calculate all that up. You wanted to go on one trip a month. How much would that be a month? And I total it up, right? And I say, okay, it'd be $1,255 a month. And they go, okay, so how much money would you be satisfied with? And I have a very simple answer. Okay, give me $1,256. And they go, why $1,256? Why not $2,000? I go, honestly, for my life to be satisfied and 100%, all I need to do is have $1 in my bank account after all my bills and expenses are paid. If I can make a deal with someone, they said, hey, you will never be poor, you'll never be homeless, but at the same time, you will never make more than $1 more than any month's bills and cost of living that you have. Would you take that deal? And I say, absolutely, I would take that deal. They said, okay, but you're passing up. You could never, if you hit the lottery, you'd have to give me back all the money. I'd say, I will take that deal. And a lot of people can't understand that, but so I don't need a lot of money. Just whatever my bills are a month.
What will you do with money if like someone gives you $1,000 unlimited until you die every day? So every day.
Every day?
Yeah,
1,000?
Every day that you wake up, you have you'll have $1,000.
I couldn't even. It would be impossible.
Yeah, but like.
I'd probably only spend $100 of it every single
What are
day.
you gonna do with it? Like
I would just put it in some kind of account.
No, you have to spend it every day.
If I had to,
It's like
that would be
every day
hard.
You would have to have $1,000.
I don't even know how. Like physically, I don't even know how I would spend $1,000 a day. I would literally have to blow it. Literally, I would have to go to the most expensive hotel and say, hey, I'm just gonna stay here. I just want to go use your guys' pool for an hour. Charge me a night, and then I'd have to go over here and get like a $200 lunch. I'd have to go over here and say like, hey, I want to check into this hotel because I want to sleep here and take a nap in the afternoon. Like I literally could not spend $1,000. I don't even know how I would spend $100 a day out here. I missed a couple of your guys' messages. Oh yeah, I agree 100% with that. But having money doesn't mean that you're happy. I get that a lot. But I think a lot of people's lives become a hugely amount better quality of life if you just gave them the money that they needed. So I think a lot of people's problem, I would love to look up that stat. If you could just instantly snap your fingers and solve someone's, not even making them rich, but if you just paid every one of their bills a month, how much better quality of life they would have, I think that's a huge amount that would improve.
Isn't that their street?
Yes, Fluffy.
But it's so expensive.
I hate that. I've definitely seen that before.
Where?
I don't remember. I remember this.
No, that's different.
But that's too much for that place. No. So the rules, Kim, would be you couldn't give the money away. You could not give the money. You have to physically spend it. You could not give tips, and you couldn't give it to someone else. So basically, this is how the game would be played. You get $1,000 every day, but you have to spend it all. If you don't spend it all in that day, you don't get it the next day. And you can't give it away. So you can't say, oh, I'm going to buy $1 lunch and give 900.
When you wake
and
up,
you can't give it to anybody else, or you can't tip.
yeah.
So the next day, to get that next 1,000, you have to completely spend that $1,000 without giving it to someone. So you have to buy things, meaning you have to buy a motorcycle, buy food, buy an apartment. You have to buy it, but you can't give it away. Okay, you could build something like that. You could do that. But no charity. So meaning, yes, you could probably like, hey, I'm going to go and purchase this monthly membership at a charity. I give them $100 and they put my plaque on the wall or something like that. Whatever that thing is. But you couldn't just physically hand someone money and just say, keep it for nothing. You have to purchase things.
What's gonna happen is like you'll be just like the ending would be you would be buying everything or donating everyone. It's like you're buying people.
Because I think there was a movie. I forgot what the name of the movie. I bet you the older guys in here. It was a guy, and it was Richard Pryor. He had a movie, and it was like that. Like he was going to get $2 or $3 million, but he had to spend a certain amount of that money every single day, or else he didn't get the money. So that's how you'd have to do it. But you couldn't give the money away. Now, I guess technically you guys could gamble it, yes. Because gambling, yes, would be a service. But you couldn't physically just hand it to someone for nothing. You have to get something in return. Means, hey, you go buy a shirt, you buy food, you buy property. You could do that. Brewster's Million. I think that's what it was called. I think that's what it's called. But I can't remember the rules of it. But he had to spend a certain amount, and he couldn't give it away. Yes, that's what it was called. But you can't give it away because that's too easy. You have to physically buy something. Now, maybe like if like the Dragon Bridge, like they said, like, hey, we're selling, you could put your name on the end of the Dragon Bridge for 2 million VND. You could buy something like that, but you couldn't just physically say like, hey, here's 1,000, take it. Like you could not do that. You have to purchase something. 30 million in 30 days. I think that's what it was. Yes. So it's a lot harder than you guys think, though, to do something like that. Because just think about it. probably for the first day or for the first 2 days, you'd probably go splurge. You say, oh shoot, I'm gonna go buy a scooter, I'm gonna go to the movies, I'm gonna go buy the most expensive pizza. But imagine doing that for 30 straight days. You would eventually run, I mean, you can only buy so many scooters, you can only buy so many apartments, so it would get tough. Well, yeah, so it would kind of be like that. So even if you want to do the negotiation tactic, you would have to ask them. Now, even if they overcharge you, you would pay that. So the rule would be if you went down to the street market, you have to take their first offer. So if they charged you, if they said, hey, how much is that apple? And they said 200,000, I'll even give you that. You can't negotiate. You would whatever their offer was, even if it was overpriced, you would have to give it to them. But it would be very, very hard to do that. See, because you guys should go watch that movie, because he tried to do that. He was trying to give it away, and they kept saying, no, we know what you're doing. You're trying to beat the system. We need you to play by the right rules. So you can't just give it away. You can't say, oh, you're selling a bottle of water? Let me give you $500 for it. You can't do that because you're beating the system. Now, the rule would be you have to take their first offer. So let's say a Trautalk is $10,000, right? And you asked them, hey, how much is the Trautalk? Now, if they told you $50,000, you would have to pay $50,000. Even though you're overpaying, it's whatever they offer it to you. He had to have no assets, spend 30, and have zero at the end of 30 days. That's what it would be like. That's what it would be like. I wish I could do it in real life too, but I guarantee you it'd be a lot harder than you guys think. It would be a lot harder. Like the first couple days, you would be on a splurge fest, yes. But after those first few days, you'd be like, man, how am I going to spend this? I just bought a scooter. I bought all the little gadgets I wanted. I just bought a new phone. Like after day 2 or 3, I mean, what are you going to do? Buy a new iPhone every single day? Like, what are you going to do? Keep up, Skippy. A nice hotel in Napa is commonly $500. Yeah, so that would change things a lot. So if you guys are going to do this in the USA, it would make it a lot different. So maybe the rules would be, it would be in Asia, it would be $1,000. USA, we would probably have to bump that up, because $1,000 in USA would be a lot less than $1,000 in a city like Da Nang, or a city like maybe even Dong Hoi. I don't think they would consider a phone an asset, because you use it for things. I think assets means probably like property or investments, things like that. But I don't think they would classify a phone as an asset. But I think that's what Dale was talking about, an asset, meaning artwork, property, buying a sports team, things like that. So I think I'm gonna go watch that movie, and then we'll go back to that. I wanna know what actually, you know what? I'll pull up the rules on my Bing AI. I would love to play that game in real life, though. I don't know, even with myself, with how good I budget, I don't know if I would be able to do it. Let me read you guys the exact rules from it. Let me read the rules from it, guys. What was it called? Brewster's Millions. What were the rules on the movie's Brewster's Millions on spending his money? So here we go. Let's see what the requirements were. Here we go. 1985 film. He could choose to take $1 million up front, or attempt to inherit $300 million by spending $30 million in 30 days. At the end of 30 days, he could not own any assets that weren't already his before the challenge. He could not destroy or give away valuable items. He was allowed to donate only 5% to charity and only lose 5% through gambling. He had to get value for services, meaning he couldn't just throw money away recklessly. So that's what the rules were. That's what the rules were. So he could only donate 5% to charity, only lose 5% through gambling. He could not destroy or give away valuable items, and he had to get value for service, meaning like you guys are saying, oh, they only want $1 for it, I'm gonna give them 500. You could not do that. Same weather. It's still warm out here, but it is cloudy, so the weather's not cold, but it is overcast. Grok? Never heard of grok. A nice apartment in Singapore could be 15,000 per month. 15,000 a month. My God, I can't even realize that kind of amount of money for that. 15,000 is a lot. Real Kodiak. I have to keep changing my avatar. Richard Gere, Pretty Woman. What about paying for something and not picking it up? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that rules were clearly talked about that. I don't really know what kind of things would you be thinking of buying but not picking up. What about if you bought something and didn't pick it up? Oops. What about buying something and not picking it up? How would that work for the rules in Brewster's Millions? That's a clever loophole. However, Brewster's challenge required him to get fair market value for everything he spent money on. So if he bought something and never picked it up, it could be seen as an investment or an asset, which would go against the rules. So I don't think you can do that. Yeah, so it's basically saying it would be against the rules because it would be seen as an investment or an asset, which would go against the rules. That's what I'm telling you guys, man. It would be a lot harder. It would be a lot harder than you think. And I was only telling you guys $1,000 US. He had to spend $1 million a day. I've never heard of grok. I'm not sure what grok is.
Barack Obama?
Fluffy said Barack Obama. What are your thoughts on problem streams popping up, Johnny Somali? I don't know, man. It's just people. I guess it's just however people want to be. I don't know. Not sure. I just kind of believe in whatever you do gets done back to you, and what goes around comes around. So that's people's purple choices.
Like this?
Fluffy, that's assault. Assault.
When I do this, would you do it back?
Yes. Even Stevens.
Okay, ready? Ready? Fluffy.
They say this would work. Have a party, invite for kids at an orphanage. Lady picking up garbage. What do you mean by that? Cars, this is no way a new car can be an investment. Buy cars in Vietnam every day. I think a cars would be an investment though. Walking? Let me ask him. So in Brewster's Millions, how would it work rule-wise if they bought a car every day? Let's see. He wasn't allowed to accumulate assets by the end of 30 days. Since cars are tangible, valuable assets, purchasing them would increase his net worth, which would disqualify him. So, okay, so here's where the thing is. On Brewster's Millionaires, basically what they were saying is he couldn't have more money than what he started with before he did the challenge. So that's what the discrepancy is. He didn't have 30 cars when he started the challenge, but at the end of the challenge he would have 30 cars, so he could not do it. So basically he had to give away $300 million in 30 days. So he could only end the month with how much stuff he had before. That's the big discrepancy. I don't use self-deprecating humor because I'm not 12-year-old. Yeah. I sold all my stocks. I used to trade stocks back in 2017 up to about 2022. I didn't really do too much stock trading. I did stock option trading. And I only had a few long-term stocks. I had MRO. I had a company called Cron. And who was my other one? I always forget. Cron, MRO. Damn, why can't I remember the third one? I forgot the third one that I had in the long-term portfolio. But I mostly traded stock options. I mostly sold stock options. He can't go back to the Philippines. Spend without giving it away. It would be a lot harder than you guys think. That's the thing, though. Let's walk over here. I want to show you guys the river. Maybe Fluffy will take a quick dip. I got the saddest excuse for a Trotok I've ever had. It's not even the right color for a Trotok tee.
But it got better when you...
Got better?
Let's walk going back.
I pin all the trolls comments on here. Look at this little dog.
Okay, it tastes like
Look at this little guy. What's up, buddy?
teeth at the... Oh, yeah.
What, Fluffy? What, Fluffy?
It tastes like the teeth.
Oh, vending machine. I get these sometimes. I like these drinks. These drinks are like carbonated Gatorades almost. These are kind of like carbonated Gatorades.
Okay, what's for dinner?
I'm not even thinking about that yet. It's too early. We just had lunch. What's up? What's up? I like my brain is running crazy. This is a nice little area, though. We've been here a few times. Oh, Fluffy, what is that? A grab bike? Will they let me ride it? Can I ride the grab bike? Oh, no, it's locked up.
It's not locked, but it's...
The chain is hanging off. Look. The chain. Look at the chain.
It's a foldable bike. So
Oh, that's cool. I like that bike.
yeah, you can fold it.
You could fold it and put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
Capital cities? What do you mean capital cities? The capital of Vietnam?
What do you mean?
I actually think...
Hanoi? Is it Hanoi?
Are you talking about the capital of Vietnam? Or oh, Ho Chi Minh, we're far. We're probably... Now, it's probably only like an hour-ish on a plane, but it's probably like 18 or 20 hours on bus or train. Fluffy, remember you knew someone that took the train or the bus from Ho Chi Minh?
My sister-in-law.
Yeah, how long did it take them? 20 hours or 18? 18 hours? We're 18 hours. We usually take Vietnam Railways when we go up to Hue or when we went to Dong Hoi, which Dong Hoi is about 6 hours away. We never went directly there, but we went to Hue.
Here at night time.
Hey.
You did not date me here.
You didn't date me. Where's my money?
Me?
Where's my money?
Date me.
4 million VND.
I'm sleeping.
4 million.
Remember the other day, I was laughing so hard and then I snorted.
5 hours?
Hey,
It takes-
you still want this?
No. It takes us about 3 hours on the Vietnam Railways to get to Hue. And then we stayed in Hue for 3 days. And then we took a 3-hour train from Hue to Dong Hoi. Dong Hoi is a sleeper city. I don't know.
That's a real mailbox.
Let's put a package in it. Where? What? Oh, this mailbox. No, I don't think it's a mailbox. Well, it is a mailbox, but I don't think it's an active one. Wow, look at these chairs. I've never seen the clear ones. Well, let me tell you. I was going to put my foot on it. Snake? No, I don't eat. I don't eat any kind of seafood or anything that comes in the water. I eat beef, chicken, and pork. That's all I eat. Beef, chicken, and pork. I don't eat any seafood or any frogs or anything crazy like that. Well, Fluffy, look, they got the avocado ice cream here, but it's double price. Fluffy, look. How much do you think the avocado ice cream is? 42,000. We can get that ice cream for 15 or 20,000 on the beach. So this is the Riverside, which supposedly is cheaper, but it's double. It's double the price. We don't find this area to be cheap, Fluffy, but we're on the other side of the river.
No, maybe if you go to Mega Mart or somewhere there.
Even that small little local place that we just ate at wasn't so cheap. Now we did get 5 spring rolls, but those were 7,000 each, right? So 30.
Yeah.
So
I got the sausage.
oh, you got the sausage, okay. So I forgot that she got the sausage. Because I was gonna say, why was that kind of expensive? But this is the park. We'll show you guys over here really quickly. I really like that building up there. That building is cool. We'll walk past it over here this way. Fluffy ate a frog the other day. Look at that bike. That's the kind of bike. Oh, that's the bike that Fluffy needs with training wheels, so that she can be much safer. Fluffy ate a frog. The Riverside area is okay. I don't not like it, but it's just, for me to come over here, there's just not enough for me, and it's not really that cheap. I'm just so blown away at how cheap the beach side is, or at least how expensive this side is. Like, Fluffy, how much do we buy the avocado ice cream for?
Probably the last time we had it was like in the Antoine area.
Yes, how much is it there?
30?
20.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Even
Is it 20?
it's 20. Here it's 42,000. I don't know. That's just their thing. I know how Dark Brother gets upset about the small chairs here. I get upset about them leaving the garbage on the tables. But I always hear Dark Brother say, why do they have child-sized tables and chairs? That's just kind of what this country is known for.
Yeah.
Trolls, enjoy. I appreciate it, Real Kodiak. Have a good day. One of my favorite meals in Da Nang was Boko at Cheers Bar.
Boko. You remember you had Boko, but you said
Yeah, it's okay. I'd rather have the bonnet. But the soup, the stew, whatever you want to call it, it's okay. It's not bad. I'd rather... you know who's converted on bonnet now is Army Guy. He loves it.
But now you like the Xiaobo, the lunch place that we ate at yesterday.
Yeah. See, I love that building right there. I don't know, or a structure. Look at that cool structure up there.
You know what's
Big
that
flag.
for?
What, Fluffy?
It's for
Asian Commission. There's a nice view of the Dragon Bridge, and we're right on the water. Look at that. This is a nice view.
Maybe this is where Hale stands when he watched the fireworks.
Oh, maybe he watched it over here. Some people came over here and watched the fireworks. We watched them from our balcony, but some people came down here. That is the head of the Dragon Bridge, and this is the tail. So the tail is the riverside, the head is the beach side. Wasn't Kurt Angle a wrestler? Yeah, Kurt Angle was a wrestler. Sit down. So I'm assuming, this is what I'm assuming. I'm assuming this part of the street is a tourist trap, right? So anybody that knows about this area, why is everything so expensive? Like everything is double the price on this. Why is everything double? So that's the beach side, right? Beachside has great value. This is why people say, "Oh, go live on the river. It's cheaper, man. That's where the locals live." Everything on this street is crazy priced. I'll show you the prices in a second. So I'm assuming this is a tourist trap street. So if everything else beyond this side of the river is this price, it's crazy. Because if let's go take a look at some menus. All this stuff is insanely expensive. Let me take a look at this. Oh yeah, sodas are like 30.
Yeah,
Yep. So let's see what else. These are so even in An Thuong we can get these same drinks for like 25, 30. So I don't know. The river is definitely more expensive than the beachside, which never makes sense to me. But you guys always say, whatever's supposed to make sense in Vietnam doesn't make sense. What American would any American not like steak and eggs? So in the USA, I don't eat many eggs. For some reason, I eat
eggs and are vegan.
I got horrified. I like steak, but not eggs. So what's crazy is I'm not a big egg eater back in the USA. So for me, I eat more eggs in a single month in Asia than I probably eat eggs in a whole year. So in a day, I usually eat 1 or 2 fried eggs a day here. Whereas in USA, there might be months I go without even eating 1 single egg. We're gonna come down this area too. This is a nice area. We've never been down this far before. Everyone's getting their nice picture taken. Everyone's dressed up taking their pictures. Look at this boat that's about to come by. Look at this boat. You can hear it chugging along. A boat is towing a boat. This is a nice, we've never been down this far. We usually stop walking about this part, right around there. So we've never been down this far on this street. We technically have when we were at the park over here, but we've never been on this actual street, but we have been to the park. Fishing. Fluffy, we've never been here.
I think this is newly built. Is this where they'll watch the fireworks? It would be a nice place, especially on June.
It'd be a nice spot on June. Maybe everyone else comes here.
Yeah, I guess. But you would have to be here.
You got to bring your own chair.
Yeah, or like just.
No, I'm sure this is all crowded.
Yeah. It's a nice spot for this and like. Yeah.
This is the typical Asian 20-minute photo
It's
session.
A nice photo as well if you want to take the.
Yeah, this is very nice. So these people will probably be here for 20 minutes. When we go on the beach, we see people dressed up in a dress, and they will take 247 pictures at the beach. They'll literally walk down to the beach, get close to the water, take 200 pictures, and then the second that they're done taking the last picture, they leave the beach. So they never put their feet in the water. They never do anything.
It's so unfair because it's only the girl who does the photo.
Yeah, so there'll be about 200 pictures here.
Maybe if I do that to Fluffy, he would throw away my phone.
How's your Vietnamese now? The same as when I came here.
Try, oi, try.
So I still only know maybe 2 or 3 words. I'm just not a person that can learn another language though. But look, these people will be here for the next 5 minutes. It's like, how many pictures of the bridge do you guys need? Look, oh, I gotta lean to the right. Okay, now let me lean to the left. Okay, now let me go over here. I gotta take 12 of the exact same pictures.
That's where we live.
Yep, there's our apartment.
So we see this in our apartment.
Look, here we go. There is our apartment right there. That's exactly where we live. If Fluffy was on the balcony, I could probably see her from here. I could probably see you from here. Look, we're still going to have these. She's doing it. Tell her to stand next to her. Look, got to take another 10 pictures. We'll see how long.
I'm sleepy.
You always are tired.
I'm not tired. I just said I'm sleepy. What time did you wake up? What time?
8 o'clock in the morning.
What time did we go to sleep, Fluffy?
9 o'clock.
4:30 in the morning. We're turning like Robbie and Kim.
All right, Dark Brother. You got to go make your breakfast. The breakfast that he never misses.
Break pass. It's called break pass.
I wish we would have put a timer on to see how many minutes of the picture taking. We don't even know how long ago they got here.
Like you can see the timer from
I
your
didn't,
phone.
but I didn't look at it. But we don't even know when they got here. They could have been here 10 minutes. It's warm, not cold, but there is overcast. There's been overcast the past few days.
I've been seeing a lot of new names.
New names.
New names. New names.
So look, got to do another 10 pictures.
New names.
You guys thought I was exaggerating when I said they'll be here for 15 minutes.
Mitzi should be here. Mitzi, you should hang out here.
Why?
Maybe and then take
Is
a
this
photo.
glamour area?
No, but a good catching place to catch girls. Like, oh, you want me to take a photo of you? I'll give you my number too.
Learning a language is definitely not an easy thing.
Mitzi would say that. It's so quiet.
So quiet.
Sophie, maybe we sleep early tonight.
You can sleep at whatever time you want.
Maybe I don't eat dinner.
Maybe you don't eat dinner. Wow, that's very nice. Now I can eat yours, or I can save 50% on dinners.
You think there's crocodile?
Jesus, this is like the second day that we've been out for a long time.
Fluffy, you know
I have
what?
4 freaking videos to edit.
Fluffy, you know what? There's like an incident in the Philippines. There's this kid who was going swimming in the ocean. And then one time they went at the shore and they pulled something. They just pulled it all over the sand and then they saw it and then they thought it was tuna. And then it was a shark. And then they found out it was a shark and then there was this guy who pounded the shark and now he's in jail. It's so sad.
Still taking some more pictures. Look, going back for a 3rd round.
Where's Mitzi? Mitzi, maybe you should be here. Oh look, she's selling something. Oh no. Ciao.
I don't know what they're doing. What are they catching something?
So they're like putting the nets.
I didn't know you could just like pull up here and just start catching stuff.
Would you be able to catch something?
I have no clue, but in USA they wouldn't just let you pull up to like a random spot like this and start fishing.
No, but like I saw like videos like they would go to a wharf. They get crabs. They go fishing in San Francisco. And then I think
Very sinkable.
But I think they measure the crabs there, right? There's like a certain specific.
The guy's just like hanging off the boat. Look, let me show you guys. He's just freaking hanging off. So I don't think he minds falling in. The guy's just hanging off the back. Will they just leave that net there?
I guess.
And then they just come back?
I guess. I don't know, Fluffy. I don't know how to go fishing.
I go
Maybe
fishing on my
ask
video game.
Jimmy.
I go fishing on my
Where's
video
Jimmy?
game.
I go just fishing for gossip.
Look, still taking pictures. They're the lone wolves over there. It's like, come on, like, how many pictures do you need? What I want to know is how long does it take those people for them to fill up their
And then
memory
they-
cards, their
then they-
memory,
And
A
then
day?
they just delete it.
and then they just delete it.
I guess.
So, look, still taking pictures. Jeez.
I like this spot. It's nice. It's
It's-
noise.
You could bring picnic.
Picnic. Fluffy, did you know that we have a chip called picnic?
Mm.
Yeah, it's like chip.
Let's see where they're
potato
fishing.
Sticks. Potato sticks.
They're way over there. I think they're done now. But I have a feeling before they leave, they'll take a couple more.
What's that white block?
White block?
No, our building, and then there's like complex, a lower complex.
Wow.
So many buildings.
They took up probably like 400 pictures in that time span. Oh, look, I told you. She's going back again. Told you. It can't be done. You guys thought I was really honestly joking. Like, when we go to the beach sometimes, we'll get to the beach and someone will be taking pictures.
Why are they smashing
Oh, look at that.
smashing the?
What are they doing? They're smacking something.
Yeah. Maybe they're letting the net fall.
They're looking for Mitzi. They're like, I'm going to smack him if he's in here. Look at that. I'm not sure. What are they doing?
They're smashing the. I think they're doing that to put the net down.
I thought someone fell in. Look, more pictures. Now they got to go do the groove.
Jeez Louise.
Jeez, Louise.
That's one reason why sometimes it's hard to travel with, like, you should always travel with people you have something in common. Like you should be spending the same time, because like it's hard if you, because like what if you're the type that doesn't want photos like that, and then they take so much photos. I'd get irritated.
Fluffy would get irritated.
Irritated.
The sun goes down this way. So, too bad that the sun didn't go down this way. Then you can watch it. The sun goes
Fluffy-
down this way, though.
Fluffy, I have a date on Monday.
Wow.
Why you just say why? You don't even say who.
I have a date with my bed.
You don't even say who.
Who? That's what an owl says. Who?
Like you don't even ask who I go out with. You wouldn't even ask. Who?
Why are you
Fluffy?
poking me?
I'm not I'm not poking you.
His hair's so fluffy. They're way over in the corner over there now.
Because they found out we were taking a joke.
What do they think I'm gonna...
Oh look, they're gonna pull it.
They're gonna pull it?
Is there something?
Let's see if there's any fish. Fluffy doesn't call them fish, he calls them fish.
Oh, there is.
You see it?
Yeah, look.
Romania. Very nice. Let's see, did they get any fishes?
Yeah,
They did?
yeah.
How many?
I don't know. I saw like two.
Two or tuna. Let's see. Buffy said she's seen them get something. If you guys have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button if you guys enjoyed this content. Especially if you like the longer form. We have a bunch of videos that should be uploaded. I think I have 4 videos unedited so
We
far.
have a fake Romanian friend.
Buffy, did I do the ending for my video? No, I didn't. Here, let me set you guys up here. I'm gonna do the ending for my YouTube video, but I will let you guys look. Don't knock this phone anywhere, Buffy. We're gonna let them watch the people over here.
How many watchers?
19. Let me shoot the end of my video real quick. Should have done it with more sun, but don't knock it.
Yeah. Wow, Kim speaking Romanian. Or that's Robbie. They got some fish. Good morning. Wow, that's so nice. Will is currently taking a shooting a video, but I'll let him know. Thanks. I hope you're subscribed and please hit the notification button so you would know when we do lives. But normally we do lives. We normally Will does his live around 7 o'clock Vietnam time, or like if it's dinner time for us.
I am all done.
Fluffy, they got some fish.
Did you see the
You have
fish?
some message.
Hold on.
What happened? I can't. Kiddos. Robbie? Romania in his dreams? Mitzi, we slept late like how Robbie and Kim's. Look at the boat, it's like very tilted.
It's very sinking. That's what Fluffy said. It's very sinking.
It's very tilted.
So you guys missed me making my first ever QR code payment.
Ooh.
Let's take
We
a look.
did something naughty, Kim.
the hell?
Nasty.
Fluffy, stop.
We were out with partying up until maybe dawn.
Oh, Fluffy.
No, we were. What time did we go home, Fluffy? I think
12
we
or
were
1.
out 12 hours.
Yeah. We
Went back 2 a.m.
to travel, keep up the great content, and thanks for everything. Subscribe.
Wow.
Man, I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Even Fluffy saying thanks, even though
Mucho.
12 midnight is not late. Yeah, that's what time we got back. We didn't go to bed till late, though.
We got back around.
I appreciate you guys. Man, I appreciate every single one of you guys that subscribe. It really helps the channel grow.
Thank you.
Man, our channel is growing pretty damn quick. I cannot be any more happier on that. Actually, I think just yesterday or something, I think we just crossed over the 5,700 mark. Let's look at where we're at.
Muchas gracias.
We are at 5,736 subscribers, man. I just had the best 2 months I've ever had growth-wise the past 2 months. So let me take a look. Here we go. So yeah, so the past 2 months have been awesome, man. Look at that. So you guys can see I was getting, I don't know, 400 and something on a normal month. Remember when I did the Vagabond Awake? Man, that was an awesome month. 1,300 subscribers this past March. We almost hit 900. So, man, the channel is definitely growing, and I appreciate it. Just get some more views on all my uploaded videos would be even more appreciated. If you guys go watch my uploaded videos, the long form, watch them all. Watch all that you guys can. It helps the channel. You guys don't, it's free. It's free to watch all the videos. It does help me. It pushes the algorithm. It does add to the YouTube ad revenue, but it costs you guys nothing at all. 24-hour drinking session. That's crazy. What will I be doing? I don't drink, so what the hell am I going to do for 24 hours?
Fluffy, we have that thing in the Philippines. I drink, you provide the story.
The best stories are when people drink, though.
Is it?
Yes, Fluffy.
I don't know.
We have a lot of videos coming out. I have probably 4 unedited videos. I have the Lady Buddha, the statue of Lady Buddha statue coming out.
I'll just put it in.
That's coming. Remember, I still am behind on the Da Nang Food Festival. And then, the apartment video. So you guys are going to get a new apartment video. And then today's video that we shot earlier, a financial video. So a lot of stuff. So I promise I'm going to get those edited as quick as I can. And if I have to, I will lock myself in the apartment for the next 3 or 4 days until these get done. No more fun, no more going out. I am going to be on lockdown for the next few days until I get these videos edited, because I keep saying I'm going to get these edited. Yesterday we went out all day. Today we went out all day. I can't be doing this, passing over all the work. In Da Nang. Mindful. Look, we got some more picture takers. What time is it? Oh my God, it's 5:50. You can have 3 weeks off, then drinks if you're around. You haven't been live. I was live yesterday. I think a couple days ago I wasn't on live for a few days, but today I've been on live. Yesterday I was on live, and I think the but the past 2 days I've been on live. But usually I've been doing them earlier. But there was about 3 or 4 days that I didn't do live. Yeah, Fluffy is a bad influence.
Nine. They're coming here.
They're coming here?
Yeah, no.
Dal. Yeah, so if you guys don't get notified of my videos, please go back to my channel and click the bell button. Sometimes, even if you subscribe, if you don't hit the bell button, what the bell button is the notification button, double check that. Even if you guys you guys think you've hit it, go back to my YouTube page and make sure it's clicked. Click it a second time or make sure it's clicked, because I have been getting a few people that say, hey man, I haven't been getting notifications. Usually when you don't get notifications, it's because the bell button wasn't clicked or somehow it got turned off. So check the bell notification button. But you guys should all be getting notified. Are you in Will's company? What does that mean? I don't know no company. Look at Fluffy's deep into thought.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the fish.
Yeah, sometimes I hear that, like, sometimes whatever, maybe when they do updates or something, sometimes certain people's YouTube favorites kind of, the bell button goes off or something. So that's why I said just go double check it, make sure the bell button is hit, and double check. Just go click on it again, see if it says notify. Sometimes it doesn't, because I think there's been times where I've like subscribed to people's channels and I go, hey man, how come I haven't been getting any of their stuff? And I go back and look and I go, huh, it didn't even show I subscribed. That's crazy. So I don't know, sometimes digital stuff sometimes can go wrong.
It's heavy.
It's heavy. You can't pull it. Let's see if they're gonna pull up some fish. He's got to use his paddle. That's a fact. Yeah, so please, if you guys enjoy the content and you guys haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, because when I look at my analytics, it says there's about 70 or 80% of people that watch my videos that are not subscribed. So if we could get all 70% or 80% of those people that watch the videos that don't subscribe to actually subscribe, man, the channel would be flying. So, it doesn't cost you guys any money. It just takes a couple of quick seconds, but it does tremendously help out the channel. So please, if you guys have not hit the subscribe button and you do enjoy the channel and you do want to see more live streams and more videos, please go hit it. Like I said, it doesn't cost you anything and it just takes a couple of seconds. I know sometimes people don't want to take the time out and they're like, hey, I'm busy, I'm eating lunch when I'm watching you, I don't want to go hit that. But just do us a favor and just hit it if you have the time and you can do it. Do it as a favor. Let's see if actually my words of motivation helped.
So much fish.
There's so much fish. Do you see them? Let's see. Let's actually see if my sermon, that's what I call it, a sermon. Let's see if that worked. Did we get any, did anybody? Nope, nobody did it. So maybe next time. We'll check later though. We're getting close to 6,000. Getting close to 6,000 subscribers. Unbelievable, man. I never thought I would get that. Never thought I would get to 6,000. Shoot, I never even thought I was going to get to 5 or 4 or 3. But very nice. I don't see any fish, Fluffy. There's a Romanian restaurant in Danong. Yes, I've heard about that. I've seen that on Facebook. I've seen something about that. I've never had Romanian food, but I've definitely seen them pop up on the Facebook page. They pop up there on a lot, actually. Let me see. Let's see if they got anything. Oh, there is a fish. I just seen one, or maybe it was 2. But let's see. Do we see any more? I'm too bad my old coworker isn't here. He would love to watch this. He'd probably get so excited because these people catch more than he's caught in probably a whole year.
You always say bad things about Jimmy.
Because he's a bad man. I'm surprised he's not on right now. Too bad. He would love this.
Maybe Jimmy's on overtime again.
He's really missing out though. Too bad he's not on here. Fluffy, when they go fishing, they don't even have their shoes on either.
Why would you have your shoes on? It would just be happy.
Because it's like, where did you have to start? Did they, wherever they started at, did they have shoes?
No, because like that, they have to pull the net and fix the net, and they use their feet to
That's crazy.
stretch the net. Ooh, there's another one.
Wow. Yeah, Jimmy the slacker. Next time you guys see him, call him a slacker. I've seen at least 2 fish. I don't know what he's doing. He's like undoing something.
He's untying the fish and then like putting it in the basket. I think he has to kill the fish.
Huh? What do you there? Look, there's a fish. You guys see that one? Look, there's one. It's right there. That's a fish right there.
That's Dale's favorite fish, tilapia.
Del. Don't be Del.
Tilapia is Dale's favorite.
I like goldfish crackers. That's the only fish that I eat. Goldfish crackers. I wonder how many more are in that big net down there. I want to see him pull out a shark. A big, giant, huge shark. Yeah, there we go. Look who just popped in. Jimmy the non-fish. They caught more fish in 5 minutes than you've caught in 5 years. Look, they got a fish right there. They laid out this net. Look at that. He's putting you to shame. You haven't caught a fish in 5 years, and this guy just pulled up like 3 or 4 fish that we've just seen. And he does it with no shoes on. That old lady can probably catch more fish than you too. Let's see, is there any more fish in here? Let's see. Where's the rest? Where's the rest? Let's see some more. Oh, there we go. There's another one. So I think he unties it or something. Yeah, that's the only thing he's good. I never knew there was a fish called cold until Jimmy went fishing. He goes, I said, what'd you catch? He goes, oh, cold. And I go, what kind of fish is that? And he goes, no, I caught a cold. With no shoes. That's what I said too a minute ago. I said, where did they start from? There's no shoes. Like, where did they get on the boat at? Like, if they came from their house, did they walk with no shoes? I don't know. They just came rolling in. So when we came, this is the Dragon Bridge. They were coming from that side of the Dragon Bridge. And Fluffy, what happened to the other boat thing? They were pulling another boat. They had another boat attached to them, but I don't know where that one went. So then they just rolled up here and threw the net down, and we're doing that. But I've seen him have about 4 or 5 fish now. We're down here at the riverside, so Riverside is at the tail end of the Dragon Bridge, and then the beach side starts where the head is. That's the head. That's where the fire and everything comes out of the water and the fire. Yeah, that guy, I'm sure he's probably been doing that for many, 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 many years. Ooh, look at, there's a little scuffle. I can't believe it's already 5:40 though. Like, it's kind of questionable again. Like, when we leave, are we supposed to go to dinner? Or are we supposed to go back home? Because if we go back home, it's going to be 6:15 by the time we get home. And then we're going to go out and walk to dinner. The place I kind of want to go to is the dumpling place. But I don't know what else they have there. Are we just going to get a bunch of dumplings?
There's another like that in Chowti.
Let's see if they get anything. Let's take a look. Let's see. Let's try to see the fish that they got over here. Be careful. Look, everyone's over here watching. You are minutes from our neighborhood. My daughter is so excited. We're watching this guy fish. We're right. Oh, look at that fish. We are right down here on the river. We live on the beach side, right? Actually, that's our building right there. We live right at that building right there. But we're over here on the Dragon Bridge side. Everyone's coming over here to watch them fish. Look at, I think there's fish in that bucket. That's what I'm assuming. But he threw this net out, I don't know, about 20 minutes or so, and we've seen at least about 3 or 4 fish pop up. Maybe more? Let's see. There we go. Fishing and seafood. So you guys know I don't like seafood. I don't eat seafood, but the awesome thing that I like about it is like you literally can go catch your dinner. Like, yeah, technically you can go shoot a deer or stuff like that, go hunting, go kill a cow. It's not really that simple though. Here you can go and throw a fishing pole in the water and you can literally eat for free. It's crazy. Like you can't just like throw a stick at, oh, that's where he puts it. Look, there's some water. Oh, Fluffy, he has a little built-in water thing in the boat. Look, this is where all the fish are kept. So I've seen like 3 in there. See, he just tosses them in there. Fluffy, there's like a little wooden area in the boat, and then it has water in it, and he throws all the fish in there. Look at this little guy. I bet you that little kid can fish better than Jimmy too. He could probably catch more. But that's where they keep the fish. I did not know that. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. At least 4 fish that I see. Yeah, he's a slacker. He is a slacker. I've never been so interested in fishing in my life. Dracula's Royal Dream. Shoot, you better stop fishing with a fishing pole and fish with a net like him. He's caught more fish. Look, let's see. Can you guys tell by looking what kind of fish these are? Man, those are one. It looks like that one. There's one to the right that you guys can't really see. That's 1, 2. That's, yeah, he's got at least 6 fish there. At least 6. Dull. Yeah, Big Macker. That's what you are, a Big Macker. He's the only person I've ever seen eat 2 Big Macs at the same time. He had a Big Mac in one hand and he had a Big Mac in the other hand. And he would take a bite with one of these Big Macs and then his other hand had a Big Mac in it and he was eating the other one at the same time. He double fist Big Macs. With a can. That's crazy. Fishing with a can. Look, he's got another one. So they got at least 7 fish. How long do you think this 7 fish will last them? Assuming that it's just these 2. If it's just these 2, how long do you think those 7 fish will last them? Will they eat 1 each tonight? Like, do you eat 2 fish? I don't know how many fish people eat. He caught a unicorn. Yeah, unicorn fish. Fluffy, there's like 8 fish. Ooh, he's... Huh? Let's see. That net, man, that net is awesome. I'm assuming you don't put any bait in the net. So it's just lit. Oh, there's another one. So it's free fishing besides the net. That one looks like a decent size too. Let's see. See how big that one is. Yeah, that's a decent size one. Oh, look, he's got one in his hand, and then he's got one there. So yeah, man, they got already 10 fish. That's cool. He's got like at least 10 fish, Fluffy. Look, right in the middle of the boat, there's like a slat, and then there's water. Fluffy, how long do you think those fish will last them when they eat it?
They sell it.
But if someone got that just for themselves, would that be a week's worth of food, or would that be 2 days, 3 days?
Maybe
for just those 2 people.
a week.
Would they eat 1 fish each, or would they share a fish?
Depends.
Because they have 10.
Yeah, but maybe that's for selling.
But what I'm saying, if you just were a homeless person and you were able to go fishing, how long would
Yeah.
10 fish last you?
A week? Or like,
Oh.
it depends.
Fluffy said it depends. Depends? That's what old people wear.
Hey,
What if I
you're
fell and I
pulling
pulled?
my pants off.
They're not pants, they're short pants.
Short pants.
No, this is not Singapore. This is Da Nang, Vietnam, and you should recognize it by the Dragon Bridge. Fluffy, I need my charger. Da Nang, Vietnam. We were watching the local guy fish. He's caught about 10 fish. Look at that. There's about 10 fish that he caught with a net. Fluffy, you have to walk close to me. Fluffy's gonna be holding my battery charger. Hold on. Let me do this really quickly. Don't hurt yourself, Fluffy. Fluffy, you can only stay that far away.
When you were a kid, did you try to jump high places? And then when you jump, like there's air on your side. Like,
No.
no, really? That's so fun.
That's so fun.
I like doing. It's like parkour.
Hardcore wrestling.
Parkour.
Let me see. The lights are just coming on. Let's see. Let's take a look. Right before we leave, we'll see them one more time. Oh, another one.
Wow, that's nice. Parkour.
So if I was doing that, I would just be the lady. I would just be sitting there just staring, and the other person would just be getting all the fish. And I'd just be sitting there just like listening to a podcast. That's kind of the craziest part. Like when you go fishing, the best part of fishing is just like sitting there. Because like fishing, you're not really actively fishing. You throw your pole in there and then you just sit and wait. What am I going to do? I don't have nowhere to really put it. Santa Cruz? No, because this is not the beach area. This is the river. That's the beach area where we live. So our apartment is right there. That's our big apartment. And then on the other side of that is the beach. This is the river side. So this would be like a river walk. But this is 10, 12 minute car ride. That all the way over there is the beach. This is the river. So riverside is this way. Beach side is all the way over there. I kind of feel like this is two different cities. It's technically not, but this side of the river is way different than the beach side. But this would be considered more like a river walk. I'm trying to think of what city. Doesn't like Texas have a river walk? And I know Florida and Orlando have a river walk. I don't really think we have too many California cities that have river walks. We have beach walks and stuff like that, but I don't think in California there's too many river walks that are like set up on the river.
Look at this. They have a table.
A table. Wow. I like all this cool stuff. In USA, and especially in California, this would be all stolen, beat up, spray painted. But look at this. This is so cool. Like, this stuff just doesn't go missing. It doesn't get stolen. It doesn't get peed on. It's so cool to come out here and enjoy stuff. Ooh, Fluffy wants to sit at the table.
It's cold.
It's not cold. Dal dal. Fluffy, stop being dal dal.
Will is so dal dal. Jimmy, do you agree with me? Will is dal dal.
What are you, ball ball?
Fluffy, don't say ball ball. That's a bad. It's a not nice word.
It's a very nice word. Ball ball. Ball ball, ball ball, ball ball, ball ball.
Dal dal.
Bulbul.
Stop saying that. It doesn't sound
Why?
nice.
It sounds very nice.
No.
Bulbul.
He's saying that you're an asshole.
He's talking about himself. He's not talking about me.
It's like he's saying,
You're a moron. In the live stream is a weekly go-to. Take care of yourself. I heard bad people pretend to be friendly tricks and capture you, then force you to work as a scammer. I don't think that happens to Americans out here. Maybe that might happen to some other people that maybe don't have a passport or come over here for shady reasons, but no one's gonna kidnap an American and go force them to work for multiple reasons. One, an American just isn't gonna work. We're not gonna be doing hard manual labor.
that happens to Asians.
Free the scammers. Free the scammers. What's up, Dead Shark? We're down here at the river, so let me
Dead
change
Shark?
view. Why is the table is, the table's like slanted. Whoever made this table made it slanted.
Dana.
No, this is not the beach. This is the riverside. So there's the Dragon Bridge. This is the riverside. The beach side is way back that way. So back there, but we're on the river. You just missed it. There was some people fishing in a boat. And they caught a bunch of fish. So if you want to go back, if you want to rewind the live stream a few minutes, you'll see like this couple that was out on a boat fishing, catching a bunch of fish.
Why did you assume that they're a couple? What if they're siblings?
Maybe. There were a couple of people.
Can't believe it. You still get messages from that?
Get messages from what?
Comments from the last video?
Yes. I get comments from videos from a year ago. A nice... Right now I'm commenting back on all the comments from my previous video, so if you guys see me not talking for a second, it's because I'm just responding back to some messages on my previous videos. Yeah! What is that yeah about?
I feel cold. In my jacket.
Fluffy is so doll and ball. Doll and ball. Doll and ball. Those are two brothers. What time do you start the live broadcast tomorrow? We don't never really have an official time, but we usually do a live stream when we go eat dinner. And we usually eat dinner about 7 p.m. Right now it is 6:05. So usually our live stream will be about 24 hours from now. It's usually at right now o'clock. So whatever time it is for you guys right now, it's usually roughly around this time. We went out earlier today and we did some stuff, so we did a live stream a little bit earlier. But we normally do a live stream starting right around now-ish.
If you don't feel cold?
I do not feel cold. I haven't felt cold in 1 year.
1 year? No, that's
13
not
months.
true.
When did I feel cold?
Wow, thank you for the hearts. Hearts, hearts, hearts.
Riverside. It is 6:05 here. 6:05 p.m. What is today? Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. 6:05 p.m. We're in the future. So I think it's like 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning back in California, something like that probably. We're in the future.
Future.
We are in the future. Big time future. Once again, big thumbs up to Kodiak for the super chat.
Eeh, Fluffy.
What, Fluffy?
There's mosquito.
That's my jacket.
It's cold. I forgot. I didn't bring mine
Why did you bring mine?
because it might rain.
If it might rain, why don't you have your jackets?
I brought umbrella.
Why don't you put on your umbrella?
How?
Cover it so the wind doesn't hit you. Yep, Thursday is practically over.
There's so much. Fluffy.
What, Fluffy?
Is there a mosquito?
A mosquito. 7 a.m. Jeez. Yeah, your guys' day is just starting, and ours is not really over, but our day is wrapping up. The sun is just went down shortly ago on the river. Nice river walk. The lights are on now. People are getting off of work.
There's so much mosquito here.
So much
Fluffy.
mosquito. Then why did you sit here?
I don't know, because it's like comfy.
Maybe you're gonna have lots of mosquito bites.
Are we going to the
Dal.
place?
What time is it? 6:05. So the tough part is I'm not really hungry now, and I don't really want to go home because by the time we get home, it's gonna be 6:40, and then we'll get home, and then turn right around, and walk back to wherever we go eat. So I guess we'll hang out here.
Okay.
The Dragon Bridge with spots, flames. So that's, I'll show you guys. Let me go over here. Let me take this out really quickly. I'll give you guys a good idea of how this works. Very simple. This is how you guys think of Da Nang. So, oh, there's their other boat. So this is the tail end of the Dragon Bridge. That's the tail, and this side is the river. So once you cross the tail end of the Dragon Bridge, you're on the local river side. The head is this side. That's where the flames and the water come out, and that is the beach side. So beach side is the head of the Dragon Bridge going towards that way. That's the beach over here. That's the Dragon Head. That is the Dragon Tail, and this is the local river side. So the river separates the beach and the river, and then the local bridge side. Tripod, I just have this really, really small one. It's called Ulanzi. And it's just a mini tripod, and it just lifts up, like, watch. So you can lower it just a little bit, and it only raises, I don't know, 6 or 7 inches. But it's awesome. I like it for more from a handle. It's a handle. Ooh, this table's not even bolted down. So I'll show you guys how high it goes up and down. So that's, I just smashed my finger. That's the lowest point, and then this is the highest point. So it's probably like 6 or 7 inches, and it has a tripod. I like it because when we go out to dinner, I just set it up and I just speak to you guys. It's actually dark. It's actually dal. Ooh, the lights just came on, Fluffy.
I'm all gulo.
Ball and dal. Dal, ball.
That's you, ball.
That's you, ball. Buy it online? Yes, I bought it online. I bought it from Shopee. I think it was about $6. It was either $4 or $6. Somewhere under, right around $5-ish. What does the river goes? What's the name? I think this is the Han River. Because we have a lot of bridges. Here's another bridge right here. So there's that bridge right there. Then there's another bridge, the Dragon Bridge, and then on the other side, even further down the bridge, I think there's at least 4 cities here. I mean, not 4 cities. I think there's at least 4 bridges. Right, Fluffy? 4 bridges?
Yeah,
At least 4 bridges.
Many mosquitoes.
At least 4 bridges.
Mosquito. So many mosquitoes.
Dal. Fluffy, you're having seizure. In America, hold on. In America, my wife's phone still Chinese Shopee so much she still. My eyes are bad. Hold on. In America, me and my wife's phone still chimes Shopee so much, and she still looks. Do you use the external mic? Not on live. So this, what I'm talking to you guys on right now when I do lives, is the built-in mic. Now, when I do my GoPro videos, I do have an awesome Rode Wireless Go 2 mic. But that's when I use this camera and I go shoot uploaded videos. But what I'm talking to you guys right now is just the microphone built into the phone, which you guys tell me works good, so I'm glad about that. But when you guys watch my uploaded videos, like the 10, 12-minute YouTube uploaded video, Fluffy, I don't want all that crap.
No, it's for mosquito.
I don't want that. When you guys watch the uploaded videos, I hate that feeling. Fluffy, stop. Yeah, sound is good. That's crazy. Usually, the built-in mics on devices are not that great. I don't really do a massage, but I keep telling you guys, I'm going to try to find an awesome... Ooh, let's go show you guys this. Fluffy, don't leave that. Look at this. I'm going to do a video of me recording Fluffy getting a massage. Well, we got to find a place that's going to let us record indoors. Look at this. I love these boats. I have. So I've connected the Rode mic, and I was like, yeah, man, that's awesome. I'm going to use that. I connected, and you guys told me it sounded terrible, which is weird, because those microphones are awesome. And you guys, if you guys go watch my uploaded videos, you guys say, man, your audio is awesome, man. What are you using? And I say, I'm using the GoPro with the Rode Wireless Go 2. But when I hook up the wireless Rode 2 mic to my cell phone, you guys tell me it's terrible. So I don't know. I gotta maybe I'm hooking it up wrong or something, but it works great on the GoPro. But when I hook it up to the cell phone, it works terrible. Doll and ball. Doll and ball.
Jimmy said you're gago.
Lady Gaga. Who is Lady Gaga?
You.
This is my setup. So I have this tripod on this one, which I like. It extends. Fluffy, stop wiping that on me. So I don't really use this. I use this more for a handle. This handle I got at a mall in the Philippines, and I like it. I've been using this for a long time. So I have the tripod on this. This is the GoPro 9, and this is the media mod that you need so that you can hook up the wireless Rode 2 external wireless mic, and you run it into the media mod. So you need this cord and you need the media mod to do it. So, and also I have a light attachment that I stick on here. I never really use the light because I don't really do GoPro videos at night. But I have that to stick. So there's an attachment piece here for the light. This attachment piece is for the other mic. And then I can't connect it because I don't have there's a piece that you got to plug in to the USB port to connect it. So it won't work right now. I need the cord to plug into the phone, and then it plugs into this. So basically, I need the plug that goes into the USB of the phone, and then it plugs in to this end right here. I shoot mostly in 4K, but it's 30 frames per second. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but those are the settings. This is the settings. I don't really mess with the settings, but it's basically 4K at 25. Because you guys forget, in Asia, if I shoot in like 24 or like 48, it messes with the lighting. It's weird. So I shoot in 25, which is basically, oh, Fluffy, Ratatouille.
I didn't see that.
Ratatouille. Fluffy's so scared of ratatouilles. I'm gonna look at that menu. So I guess we're gonna go to the dumpling place. That's what I'm thinking we're gonna do.
Oh, I have 5G here.
You do? I like how that tree is lighting up in the back. Can you guys see that? That's cool. We do see rats usually where there's garbage left out in like bigger fields. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The wireless mic, you can connect it, but I need the cord. So I need to run a USB cord from the cell phone, like where you plug your battery, into this. You can't hook this up without the cord. Now, if my phone had, so I have the Samsung S21. If it had the headphone attachment, I could just directly plug it in with this. But it does not have, S21 doesn't have the headphone. Remember, all these damn phones started getting rid of the headphone jack? Because this is how I would hook it up. If my phone had the headphone part, I would plug this into the cell phone headphone jack, and then I would just use this. But the Samsung S21 does not have a headphone jack. So what I need to do is I need to put a USB to USB. So USB to plug in here to a USB to there, and then I can do it. But if my phone, like this, actually, you know what? This phone has a headphone jack, so I could do it like this. So I could do it this way on this phone, but you guys wouldn't be able to hear it because this is my other phone. But this is how I would hook this one up. There's a lot of human rats in Danang. He slammed the car door on his wiener. Whoever that troll is. I was going to pin their comments, but I just kicked them out. I'm feeling like a kick-out mood on trolls today. Pretty quick. I forgot the name of that restaurant, Fluffy.
Just search for Gildas because it's new.
Gildas. Gildals. But I don't even know if it'll show up next to it.
Hey, Vinci. What's up?
Ah, here it is.
Rats.
Ratatouilles.
We need more cats and snakes here in the
Snakes!
Yeah.
No more snakes. We don't even need one snake.
Snakes eats rats.
What do they eat? One a day?
Uh-huh.
I'd rather not have a snake than just eat one rat a day. Menu. Let's take a look at the menu.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
You're scared of snakes?
Yes.
Why?
More cats. We do see cats out here. Cat dogs and dog cats.
Cats kills snakes.
That's if they find them. What is steamed mandu?
The one you eat, the it's with pork, and it's like a shell shape.
For one person, it's going to be cheaper probably than me, but I budget really well. We live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1 block from the beach. Our rent is $550 a month, but we only spend about $200 after that on food, transportation, entertainment. So my monthly budget for both of us total for every bill included is $750. But I don't drink alcohol, I don't party, I don't get massages, I don't go to clubs. And we walk everywhere, so we pay very little for transportation. And we do free entertainment like this. We go hang out at the river, we go to markets, we go to the beach. We do very, very little paid entertainment. So you would have to fluctuate it. Maybe you want a smaller place than me, you would save money, but maybe you drink alcohol, or maybe you want to eat steak every day, then you'd spend more. But for 2 people living in a 2-bedroom that walk, eat local food every day at restaurants, we could do it for $750. That's everything. $750 is every single bill, anything you guys can think of. But like I said, we save a lot of money because we walk everywhere. We walk. We don't really take transportation. I spend, usually on an average month, I spend about $5 on transportation a month. Entertainment, very, very little. I bet we spend probably 10 or less $, on entertainment. I don't drink alcohol. I don't go to clubs. So the majority of our budget, 70% of our budget is our rent. And then I would say probably 20% of our budget is food. And then probably 10% is everything else. TikTok, no, man. TikTok, it's never really done well for me. So I kind of got frustrated and gave up on TikTok a long time ago. I gave up on TikTok a long time ago. But they have herbal tea. Dal dal. Yeah, so here's what's going to differentiate from you guys. Most of you guys are not going to spend as much as I spend on rent. You guys are probably going to rent a 1-bedroom or a studio, which means your guys' rent is probably going to be at least 30% cheaper than my rent, but a lot of you guys are going to probably spend more money on alcohol, Western food, going to attractions. So you guys will probably spend less than me on rent, but you guys are probably going to spend more than me on other stuff. So realistically, I'd say for a single person, so if I was by myself here, I couldn't go any lower than maybe $550 is probably the lowest I could realistically do. But if I was by myself and wanted to eat steak almost once or twice a week, I think I would be closer to about $900. But well under $1,000 should be pretty easy, pretty easy. A scooter? No, she doesn't know how to ride a scooter too. Plus, even the Grab drivers, I won't get on the back. It's just too crazy for me. But Fluffy doesn't know she barely knows how to ride a bike, a regular bicycle. Steamed momo, fried chicken momo, cheesy fried momo, pork momo. Does Fluffy know how to ride? Huang Nam.
Wang na.
Vegetable.
Wang na. It's wang. Wang na. Wang na. That should be your name, William Wang na.
You should get your name that way. I don't know what we're gonna get for dinner. It's either that spot or local Vietnamese or that spot.
That spot.
Liberation Day. I don't think it's Liberation Day today, is it? I always get confused. So I know this past week was like a celebration of some kind of activity. That's why they had the festival. But at the end of April, they have like the reunification day, and they have like the King's holiday. So, but I'm not up 100% on all the holidays and activities. Cooking is comparatively costlier than eating out in Da Nang. Yes. So over the past couple months, we eat out 90% of the time. So so put it this way. I usually don't eat breakfast. We don't get up in time. So even back in the USA, I never really ate breakfast. So I'll eat, I guess what you guys would call either extremely late breakfast or a lunchtime. I usually eat something simple. So I will eat toast with a fried egg and rice, or I'll get a banh mi for lunch, or maybe like if we have something at home, like maybe I'll make a grilled cheese sandwich for lunch. Then nighttime dinner, we practically always go out to dinner. Last night we went to a local spot. I got beef, fried rice, and a fried egg. Fluffy usually gets the hot pot from there. The night before I had a local place. I had Bonet. Tonight we're gonna go to a dumpling place. And then twice a week we will go to like a Western non-Vietnamese. We go to a place called Bikini Bottoms, which is like a Western good burger spot. We go there once a week. And we go to a Thai restaurant once a week. And then we have a bunch of other small places that we go to. But it will be extremely hard to save money cooking if you're going to cook Vietnamese or even Asian food. Now, the only time that I really like to cook is if I make something that I really miss back from the USA. Make really good burgers, tacos, roast. Like if there's something you can't get out here, or it's not that good, or it's very expensive, steak, then I will cook. But I will never try to cook Vietnamese or Asian food. It's just too cheap to eat out here. Plus no cleaning up, plus no cooking, plus no preparation. Oh, me and her already live here for $750, so we live for 25% less than that now on the beach in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, going out to restaurants every single night. $1,000 would be, so if I was by myself, maybe probably even with her, it would be extremely hard for my lifestyle to live. I don't even know how I would spend $1,000. I would have to still spend another $250 a day just to hit $1,000, and I don't even know how I would do that. I'm trying to think how I would do it. But remember, I don't drink, I don't party, I don't go to clubs, I don't do massages. So if you guys do that, your budget's definitely going to jump up. Yo, U.S. Liberation was April 2nd. Okay, I did not know that. That's the same day as my brother's birthday then. Liberation was April 2nd? I did not know that. Same day as my brother's birthday.
What happened in Liberation Day?
I don't know, Fluffy. Fluffy's being so doll and ball. Doll and ball. So, I guess we're gonna sit here for a few more minutes, and then we're gonna go get dinner. We're gonna get dinner in about 30 minutes. Once we leave here, we're at the riverside. We'll show you guys this one more time. We are down by the river. I'm gonna log out of here. We're gonna catch an in-drive back, and then we're gonna go get some dumplings. So once we get there, in about 20-30 minutes or so, probably at 7 o'clock. We'll probably be doing a live stream at 7 o'clock. So we'll get off here now, and then at 7 o'clock-ish, we'll be going to the dumpling place, and then we'll do a live stream, our normal live stream. We did an early one today because we were out and about. Oh, Fluffy, they said you're going to save some money for a ring for me. What kind of ring are you going to give me? The only ring that Fluffy's going to give me is an onion ring.
Yeah.
So we'll catch up with you guys in about 30 minutes. If you guys want to watch us try this new dumpling place, come back in about 30 minutes. Appreciate it, you guys.